Welcome back to the SighSquad Podcast.
Yo.
What's up, everyone? How y'all doing?
I'm doing good.
I'm decent.
Great.
I got a hole in my sock.
Oh,
Yes, Brendan has a hole.
we're back together again.
Yeah.
We are.
It's pretty nice.
Finally back in the same room.
Yeah. Took long enough, but I mean, it happens.
So we're still social distancing because we still live in South Dakota.
You're funny. So the NBA's back, guys.
Yeah.
It is back.
I think I should have came out in the background speaking of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kevin Durant's back.
Yep. He looked good.
My hopes for the Warriors kind of fell down the drain a little
Yeah, Dynasty's over. It's done.
Why didn't the ref try to hit it? Just catch it and shoot.
bit. I don't know, but hey, basketball's back, and that's all we need to worry about, right?
Exactly. LeBron James with the ball now. He's just going to give it up because he's a good teammate.
Yeah. LeBron James, the GOAT.
The GOAT? I would say so.
Montrez.
Montreal.
Putting it up over his over his old team there. You know, just fun time. But yeah, NBA's finally back.
Yeah.
Fun to see.
This game?
Wait, so who won earlier?
The
Nets.
clobbered the Warriors.
Did they really?
Clobbered them
Wasn't
by
even a game.
30 plus.
Yeah. Who's the Nets?
Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving,
Oh,
Spencer Dinwiddie. Jared Allen.
Was that the first game?
Yeah, that was the first game of the season.
And then this is the second game?
This is the second game, and then there's tons of games on tomorrow.
Who's McClung?
What's on the first round?
He's the leading scorer in Texas.
Pelicans team.
Nice.
Nope, that's Christmas.
He's a short white guy.
So yeah, when you hear this, it'll be tomorrow. But Cleveland, please play Charlotte. But the first game that matters will be on Christmas Day.
Wait, so this is podcast going to come out Christmas Eve?
It will.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Everyone. This is our Christmas gift.
Yeah,
Feliz Navidad.
way to be multicultural there.
Bilingual.
So on Christmas, there's gonna be some NBA games.
There's gonna be some NBA.
I'm excited to watch.
I'm very excited to watch.
So
There's gonna be football. There's gonna be basketball.
I don't know what I'm gonna do.
I'm just gonna watch both.
Double screens.
I have to.
But first game of the day starts at noon, and it will be the New Orleans Pelicans going up against the finals losers in the Miami Heat. I think it's going to be a very exciting game to watch Zion without a minutes restriction. Watch the Heat, see how they rebound from their loss. I'm excited.
They're going full 7 round.
They sure are. Because, new coach.
Yeah.
New coach thinks Zion can play as much as Zion wants. I'm all for it.
Time to let him loose. He's finally healthy.
Release the Zion. Release the soon-to-be best player in the NBA.
I don't know about that, but
You're not sold on the
There
Zion?
will be at least a year where Giannis isn't in the league.
no. As long as Giannis is still in the NBA, he will be the best player.
Yeah, I'm
in
just
the
saying,
NBA once
Giannis
LeBron
started a few years before Zion did. So towards the end of Zion's prime, or the end of Zion's career.
Well, personally, I think Luka has a chance to be one of the best player in the
I'm
NBA.
just trying to hype up Zion because that's what everybody else did before he was drafted.
Well, and that's fair. I just don't ever see him as being the best player in the NBA.
Well, we do know Zion's going to be dunking on little white boys on Friday.
Ooh.
And Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero, and all of those guys. And with that, I have the Pelicans taking the victory because, Pelicans fan over Heat fan.
Okay, so Drew Holiday got shipped out.
Drew Holiday.
What players did they get for that? Because they got players and picks.
Eric Gordon being one of them.
Yeah, which Eric Gordon is pretty solid.
Yeah.
More so, it was about draft picks, I believe.
Yeah, they got a bunch of things.
Yeah.
But they got Eric Bledsoe, George Hill.
Oh, Eric Bledsoe and George Hill, that's right.
Yeah. So,
I don't know. I have mixed feelings about Bledsoe. But nonetheless, I trust
Brandon Ingram.
Brandon Ingram Lonzo and Zion.
Alonzo is the most successful ball brother so far.
Although
That's why. Yeah.
LaMelo,
LaMelo is money.
I mean, Lonzo's a really good passer, but Melo, oh my goodness. LaMelo.
If I'm being completely honest, I have no idea which one is which.
They look completely different.
That is fair.
They all have L names. They all have the same last name.
Lonzo's.
One's on the Hornets. One used to be on the Lakers. I don't know if he still is.
No, now he's on. That's the one we're talking about, Lonzo. That's Lonzo on the Pelicans.
And there's a third one. I don't know where he's at.
D'Angelo was on Detroit. Not good enough for Detroit.
Detroit is just as bad in basketball as it is in football. And hockey. Oh my God.
Yeah,
Detroit's the new Cleveland?
Detroit's an all-time.
I mean, Detroit's never been good as Cleveland to begin with, so.
Well, that's not true because Detroit Red Wings in the late part of the early 2000s.
Well, really, the Red Wings have been good since like 2015 is when things kind of shifted, really.
Yeah.
And then the Pistons have 3 NBA championships.
And the Pistons had, back in the day, Isaiah Thomas, which was one of the biggest struggles for Jordan.
And the Tigers have 2 World Series appearances in the turn of the century. So
yeah.
Well, we got to talk about the 2010s.
So Detroit is now the
they have
new
a World Series
Cleveland.
title. They have a World Series appearance in the 2010s.
As a city, it's not very
That's very
Detroit
true.
as a city is in shambles. So
yeah, they usually say your sports teams reflect your city, and
Sioux Falls. At least we're not Detroit.
Yeah, we can happily say that, just like Sioux City.
Hell yeah.
Sioux Falls. At least we're not Sioux City.
Yeah.
But what do you guys think in the Pelicans in the Heat game?
Oh, he's gonna win.
I also think the Heat are going to win.
I think Jimmy Butler is going to try to do some LeBron load management. And
Jimmy Butler's not that kind of guy.
no, but so hear me out. Just the fact that the Heat have the same shortness of an offseason as the Lakers are,
right?
And the Lakers just
are down by
gas.
Right, they're down by 20 right now, and they're trying to figure out all their stuff, which I predicted would happen.
Yeah. I am predicting that the Pelicans will win because the Pelicans had a much longer.
That's the game tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Suns Mavericks. That's going to be a barn burner. I'm so excited for that game.
It's going to be Luka versus.
That's going to be such a fun game to watch. I'm so excited for that game.
And then right after, you know what you can watch?
What?
You can watch AEW Dynamite, a special edition episode.
Special edition episode?
Yeah, because it's coming on after the NBA, because TNT says the NBA is more important.
And facts.
AEW.
Vince McMahon could never.
Exactly.
And then you can go to church.
Yeah, that's the most important thing.
Do we want so back to Christmas? So we talked about Pelicans Heat.
Yeah, the Heat are going to win.
Next we have Giannis's 40-point game.
Didn't the Warriors just get their ass handed to them by the
Yes, on a silver platter.
Aren't the Bucks better than the Nets?
No.
They have. Yeah, they could be. I think they probably are.
They have half the stars, but double the star power. If that makes sense.
Dude, this gets somebody new for Giannis.
Drew Holiday,
and that'll make a big difference.
But he's more of a supporter for as far as star wise is for Giannis.
I don't know. I think
Kyrie and KD are two guys that are trying to be the number one star.
Well, I don't know. They didn't look like that today. Team chemistry looked really good today in Brooklyn. I don't know. It looked quite good. I know it's obviously the first game of the year, but I don't know. A lot of Kevin Durant and Kyrie were distributing the ball. They were not taking dumb shots.
Whoa.
They didn't look selfish.
I just thought about something. If Kyrie ends up playing with Kawhi Leonard at any point in his career, Kyrie will be the second guy to the 3 people that have been considered the best in the league. The top 3 players
LeBron,
in the league. KD and Kawhi.
Well, I mean, if you want to be the second man to all the greats.
I'm saying, if he wins championships with them.
Right. I wish I could see that thing for me, because I watched Pat McAfee show every single day. And so that's at least 3 hours.
Warriors says the Warriors got their ass handed by the Nets. I'm picking the Bucks in this one. I think the Bucks are going to be good this year.
All right. Fair enough. That's fair. Yeah, I think the Bucks are going to steamroll the Warriors. Giannis is just going to be Giannis. It's clear that the Warriors have nobody to stop those talented players in Jrue Holiday. Clearly, there's still no defense there. There's still clearly a lack of star power outside of Steph Curry. The supporting cast is just getting progressively worse around Steph Curry, and the dynasty is over. Why are you giving the bird to Chick-fil-A?
Because it's food on the TV and I'm hungry.
Oh.
Well, I believe in Christmas miracles, and so I believe the Warriors are going to get the win here.
Ooh, that's tough.
Yeah.
I like the Warriors more than I like the Bucks. What can I say?
Well, I don't know.
I pick my teams versus based on who I like, not based on how good they are.
Me too.
Here we go.
That's fair enough.
The next game here, I think this is going to probably be game of the night or game of the day. Nets at Celtics.
So we have a consensus.
What's that?
We all have the same person.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Wow.
There's only 2 games where we have that.
Well, I'll say that I believe that the Nets are going to win this one. But I think the Celtics are going to be able to contend with them up until the very end.
Yeah, it's going to be a really good game. I think Brooklyn clearly showed today that they are a team that's ready to compete for the NBA championship. Kevin Durant and Kyrie seem to really have a good chemistry with all these young guys that they have. It seemed everybody was involved. Everyone seemed to buy into what Steve Nash is selling, so like in the first game, and I think it'll carry over into the Celtics, and Kyrie's going to be a little motivated, and I think Kevin Durant's smart enough to realize that. They're just going to feed Kyrie, and if he plays well, then that should lead to a successful victory for the Brooklyn Nets.
All this basketball back on TV, I just really want to play basketball again.
Basketball.
I don't know what it is. I hated the sport for a good portion of my life with no reason. And then fantasy basketball into playing actual basketball, I feel like it's addicting.
I hate playing any fantasy sport that's not fantasy football. Fantasy basketball and like fantasy hockey or baseball are so hard. It's so difficult.
It's hard, but fantasy basketball is kind of fun.
It was fun back in the day. And there was a lot on the line, mostly just me not wanting Nick to win something.
Shout out, Miss Schultz. We missed you.
True at that. I know you probably don't listen to our podcast, though.
You never know.
Miss Schultz is not dead.
You really miss.
She's retiring after this year. Anyways.
So Mavericks are at Lakers. Luka versus LeBron.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I think LeBron's going to sweep the leg on Luka.
Oh.
And take him out with a swift throat kick.
Caruso is not making threes tonight. Noah, how does that
And
make
the Lakers are going to win.
Not representing well.
All right, well, judging on the score of the game right now, 41-20, Lakers losing, I think that the Mavericks are just as good as the Clippers, and so I'm going with the Mavericks.
I think the
You
Mavericks.
say Clippers?
What?
Oh, yeah.
I think
I
they're
think
just
the
as good as
Mavs
the
are
Clippers.
better than the Clippers.
Oh.
So I think the Mavs are going to win. I think
Doc
Luka's going to
Rivers.
have a game and make a case for his runner-up for MVP. Runner-up, obviously, to Devin Booker, who he's going to lose to tomorrow or yesterday for you listeners.
I'm not surprised by this Lakers performance. I don't think it's anything to overreact to because they played the longest. Them and the Heat have played the longest of the two in the NBA bubble. They're opening up with a really good Clippers team that is out for a vengeance. There's a lot of new players, a lot of new moving parts on this Lakers team, and they had a short time to kind of find the chemistry, and they haven't really had the chance to do that yet. And, I think LeBron and Anthony Davis, this is just kind of a slow step back in for them today. So I think that they will be just fine against the Mavericks. They are better than the Mavericks, and the Lakers will get the win over the Mavericks.
Hey, I will say this. Both of these teams are playing better than the teams we're playing in the Texas Tech and Oklahoma Sooners basketball game I was watching earlier today.
Ooh. Yeah, those aren't exactly high-profile. Texas A&M's pretty good.
Mick Klum it's not Texas A&M, it's Texas Tech.
Or Texas Tech.
They're 15.
No. Wait, so who played today? Texas Tech and Texas...
Texas Tech and Oklahoma.
Texas Tech's pretty good at basketball.
Yeah, they're ranked 15 right now.
Yeah, they were in the Natty last year. Oh, it's going to get stuck.
No. What were we talking about?
Basketball.
Oh, yeah.
The Clippers and the Nuggets.
Yeah.
I just wanted to...
We're all in agreement on this one, too, so we must think that Jamal Murray is going to ball on these Clippers.
Yeah, I think Denver is a really well-balanced team. I think they're going to be able to shoot the ball well. I think losing Grant's going to be a big thing for them, though, and we'll see how bad that's going to impact their offense in this first game against a really good Clippers team. But I think that Denver's going to come in. They're feeling confident about beating the Clippers in the playoffs. I think they're going to want to bring it in the first game at home, and after the Clippers are just coming off well, actually, this isn't even a road game. What am I talking about? But coming off a tough game against the Lakers, this will be the Nuggets' first game of the year. So, yeah, I'll go with the Denver Nuggets in this one for fun.
So do they always wear colored jerseys at these games because they're both playing in their home stadium?
I mean, I think so. Maybe.
It only makes sense.
I just think it's so stupid that they call these home and away games.
That's fair. That's very fair.
Because, like, let's be real. The people at the Clippers
to be fair,
game,
the Clippers would have more fans at pretty much almost any other venue, so it is pretty much an away game. Not when they have fans.
The thing is even when the Clippers are considered the home team, there's more Laker fans in the crowd.
Yeah.
Are the Clippers considered the home?
The Lakers are considered the home team, but they play in the same arena.
I was going to say, why are the Lakers not considered the home team? The fucking court's all Lakers.
Yeah.
So rude.
They are considered the home team. The Clippers actually want to build their own arena.
I feel like, the Clippers can move to Las Vegas. And then we get an expansion team in Vancouver, and we get an expansion team in Seattle.
I personally would like to see a team in Sioux Falls would be awesome. But I think a team in Louisville would be really fun.
Hear me out.
Yeah.
Hear me out. What if instead of that, what if we have the Omaha Zookeepers join the league? They have a really awesome logo and a really awesome color scheme.
That's another throwback to Miss Schultz.
God,
damn.
We're talking too much basketball.
What we're talking basketball. Did you know James Wiseman scored 19 points in his NBA debut?
He did. A lot of those points were in garbage time, though.
That's the most in an NBA debut by a Warriors player in the last 30 years.
Yeah, like 6 of those were in garbage time.
Most points in Warriors history. Wilt Chamberlain, 43. Joe Fultz, 25. Guy Rogers, 24.
I wasn't overly impressed with Wiseman. He played, like I said, he played good when the Nets bench players were in, so I'm kind of taking that with a grain of salt.
I mean, he also didn't play in the preseason at all either because he got Rona.
Right, but I don't know. I wasn't overly impressed with Wiseman. I mean, there were some good things like late in the game, but I'm not gonna sit there and be like, oh my god, James Wiseman's taking the league by storm.
That's right. I'm more excited to see what Anthony Edwards does tomorrow.
I am so excited to watch Anthony Edwards tomorrow. I'm so excited.
But
this is the T-Wolves' chance to revitalize the fandom for when LeBron retires. This is their chance. It's not a good shot.
Well,
that's what you get from KCP.
Oh, Brendan, it's your time to shine, baby.
Oh yeah, the NBA's starting up.
NHL, you mean?
Well, the NBA's also just
Yeah.
Okay, I am devastated this year.
Why?
Devastated.
Devastated. That's a strong word right there.
My favorite time of the NHL season is the Winter Classic game on New Year's Day.
And they're not going to have
What?
They're not going to have it on New Year's Day. It makes me very sad.
When is it going to be?
They might not have it.
Why not?
Although, there are a few teams that are talking about just playing outside.
I think that would be awesome. I think that'd be so fun.
But,
so, Brian, what do you think of the new divisions that they have for this year? I have my opinions on it.
What are your opinions, Noah?
I think that they screwed over the Blues and the Wild hella. So I think it's kind of.
The West.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Minnesota's already projected to be one of the worst teams in the league anyway. Now they're going to screw them over by playing a mainly West Coast schedule. That is ridiculous. And same thing with St. Louis. At least St. Louis has a good team, but like even they, with that daunting travel schedule, even that's going to be tough for them.
Why was there just too many teams in the East? Why is there?
So they put all the Canadian teams in one division, which makes sense.
The North.
Right, the North. They put all the Canadian teams so there wouldn't be any like glaring issues with that because there's still some testy things with COVID in that regard.
The Canadians are more likely to allow hockey than any other sport.
Right.
Oh, yeah, okay, I pulled those in.
Wouldn't you take out Minnesota and put Dallas there?
So what are the divisions again?
North, West, Central, and East.
So
North is what?
Great. No, okay.
I ran across the graphic.
Oh, okay.
The North is Calgary, Edmonton, Montreal, Ottawa, Toronto, Vancouver. They're all the Canadian teams.
See, I think that division is probably going to be... Wait, is Winnipeg's in there too, right?
yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I don't know.
That's going to be very competitive.
I feel like
I think Ottawa just loses harder to that.
God, there's just no disparity.
The West is
Because you can't put Chicago and Dallas in there for the same
Los
reason,
Angeles,
but why Minnesota?
San Jose, St. Louis.
So why not put Dallas? Because like they're close to Arizona and Colorado. I mean, I don't know. I think they screwed the Wild over heavily, but I guess they really had no other choice.
So the Central then is
Carolina, Chicago, Columbus, Dallas, Detroit, Florida, Nashville, Tampa Bay.
Oh, Tampa Bay?
Yeah. And then the East is Boston, Buffalo, New Jersey, the Islanders, the Rangers, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, and Washington.
Florida in the East too?
No, Florida's in Central.
So where will the Krakens be?
Kraken don't play this year.
Yeah,
they don't play
next
this year. They'd probably move Minnesota back.
Well, see, this isn't permanent. This is just for this year.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, okay.
This is just to comply with COVID. Like they'll go back to their regular divisions next year.
See, what's really weird?
There's a drawing on the map.
What's really weird with this is the Blue Jackets and
The Wild got fucked over.
the Blue Jackets.
You look at all
and
the
Red
green.
Wings.
You look at the red, and it's a lot of close games. And even like Canada, it's tough, but it's the same country. And then you have the Wild and the Blues. It's like, oh my lord.
The thing that's weird is the Blue Jackets and the Red Wings used to be rivals with Chicago for the longest time. Then they both moved to the East. Or sorry. Yeah, they both moved to the East, the Eastern Conference. So them being in a group together again is going to be interesting, and I think that's going to create some cool storylines, especially because Columbus is good but fading, and Chicago is trying to juice out some life of their cup contention players. Which, I mean, they don't have a cup contending team anymore, but they might be able to make a playoff push if they can figure out what to do for goaltender.
So the Sharks will be playing in Arizona, if San Jose doesn't allow it, which they currently won't. So that eases up a little bit. You don't have to travel to California
as much. You still got to play Anaheim and the Kings. It's fair.
They are remaining flexible and adaptable, though.
Oh, the Blues are in the Southern or the Central.
Well, I don't think that's the actual one. I think that's because I know the Blues and the Wild are in the same division, so I think that's just like a mock-up of what they would do.
Yeah. So would Dallas be in the Central?
Dallas is in the Central, yeah.
That is kind of dumb. Yeah. You would think that they would do this map instead.
You would think. Bizarre. Weird that a Joe Schmo fan knows more.
It is also going to be weird, though, and where it's going to be kind of like the NFL, where some people have fans and some people don't.
That is going to be weird.
I don't know. I think it works in NFL because NFL has a lot of stadiums. I'm curious to see what it's going to look like in arenas.
I think with stadiums, too, because the stadiums are so much bigger and more people spread out.
Right.
Farther. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how hockey's going to work. I don't know. They're probably not going to be, it's not going to be a huge amount of fans, probably.
Well, Dallas will allow 5,000 people. But, I mean, that's the most because, it's Texas.
5,000 people in an arena together? Oh.
That's a lot for an arena.
Not going to allow anything. Chicago's not going to allow anything.
Nice.
Really?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Detroit has dedicated fans, too.
They do. They'll show up.
The majority of the major cities you're going to struggle with.
Yeah, they're not going to have them.
It's tough when it's in an arena because when I went to Sporting Kansas City, when I went to Kansas City for the Loons playoff game, it's obviously different because it's outside and they space out the seating and stuff. So I'm sure they would do that for.
Yeah.
Well, they would have to, or else it just wouldn't work with COVID and everything. So I feel like they have a plan set up. I mean, it's a lot. It's going to be more. It's going to be more interesting in a indoor environment. That this will be the first. Well, I guess.
Is there how many California teams are there?
Kings,
3.
Ducks, and Sharks.
Because I know California is probably going to be pretty locked down. So.
Oh, California isn't. Well, considering the Sharks have to play in Arizona this year, probably.
Just like the 49ers.
Yeah.
They're not going to let anybody play.
What a good song.
I mean, realistically, they could, if all of California shuts down and the Kings and the Ducks need to be relocated too, you could also just split with you'd send somebody over to Vegas' new stadium. Or not stadium, but because it's close enough.
Actually, no, I like West Virginia.
They were able to come up with something promptly, and from everything that I tried to do my research on it, because I try not to go into things blindly. From all the research I've been doing, it's been a pretty successful thing, and I think they're giving it to the right people to start off with first and foremost.
Yeah. Of the original 500 vaccines given in South Dakota, half of them were healthcare workers, a couple of them were correctional, and a couple of them were elderly.
And that's exactly how it should be. We don't. Well, I know you, Brendan. It's different for you.
Well, I already got it. So.
Oh, we already got the vaccine.
No, I already got COVID.
He's good for another 90 days.
I'm good for It's been a couple weeks, so
and this is just me not knowing because I've heard one thing or the other. So if you get COVID, can you get it again still?
Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
Okay. So that's
after 90 days.
After 90 days, they're not able to guarantee that you can't get it. People have gotten it again. So
there was a couple people who got it the first time had no symptoms, got it the second time and just died. It the second time it affects their body a lot harder, and it's killed a couple people that way.
And I mean, there's 7 different strains of it at this point. So I mean,
and I can only
get different kinds.
I can only smell very strong chemically induced smells. I have no other smell otherwise, which is great because I can't smell farts.
Good shit.
So back to the NHL.
We're in a real
year. So the playoffs will start after May 8th. So quick season.
Oh yeah.
16 team, best of 7, 4-round playoff format. 4 teams from each division will qualify. So the first 2 rounds will be intra-divisional play. Then the 4 divisional winners will advance to the semifinals, and it will be based on their regular season point totals. So 1 plays 4, 2 plays 3, kind of like a normal.
So there's a good chance we'll have Canadian teams.
Yeah.
Finally. Because I always root for the Canadian teams. Because I want a Canadian team to win the Stanley Cup. Because they haven't won it since 1996.
Oh, nice.
1996, 1994.
So, way too early predictions. Colorado wins the West.
Fair enough.
Edmonton wins the North.
All right.
East goes to the Flyers.
Where are the divisions at?
And
here you go.
Central goes to probably the Lightning.
All right, so my gut predictions. The winners of the North. I have a toss-up between 3 teams.
Yeah, there's 3 good teams in Canada.
So I'm gonna go with the Oilers to win the North. And to win the East, I think it's going to be the New York Islanders. Yes.
If the Rangers are in a weird spot at goaltender right now.
Well, they're kind of in a weird spot everywhere. They're still really young.
They had the backup to MVP, though.
They did, but that's...
Breadwinner, Artemi Panarin, come back to the Blackhawks.
And then winners...
No, that's not happening. Winners of
the Central, I'm going to go with... Dallas and Tampa in there. I'm going to go with the Lightning. And winners of the West will be the Vegas Golden Knights.
All right, I like
Colorado
that.
close second.
So I got Toronto Maple Leafs. I got.
He's just going by who he likes.
Yep.
I know.
I got.
Even though Toronto is a realistic team that could.
I got Islanders. I got
was like Winnipeg,
Tampa Bay,
Vancouver.
and I got Colorado. So
You said-
Colorado, Tampa Bay, New York Islanders, Maple Leafs.
Interesting.
And my winner will be
Even the Canadians.
Tampa Bay.
They got you.
I literally think Canada is the most
That's just
tough division.
that's a
'Cause
well-rounded.
it's basically Ottawa sucks, and then everybody else is in contention.
Well,
I got that one
You
right.
got to put the Flames as a team that can make noise.
All right.
Here we go.
Yeah, Ottawa
it's
sucks.
gonna
Everybody
be-
else is good.
Who did y'all say for Canada?
I said it's Toronto.
He said Toronto. I said Edmonton.
All right.
Noah said Edmonton.
It's going to be Toronto in the north,
All right, I got
Vegas in the
that.
west,
Okay.
Tampa in the central,
Okay.
and the Rangers in the east. I don't know.
All right, so
I just-
you got New York. I mean, we're similar.
And then the Stanley Cup final is going to be
Then
Toronto,
took a step forward.
Vegas.
Ooh.
That's going to be Vegas.
I got Tampa, New York is my final.
Wait, was the Rangers a good one?
I went with the other New York team, the
See-
Islanders.
See, the thing is with both of the New York teams is there's a lot. I feel like there's a lot that could be an upside for them. There's a lot that they just have holes. Like they both have holes, realistically, and like that's why I would trust like a team like Philly or even potentially Pittsburgh.
Oh, I didn't think of Gritty.
Yeah.
I did. I don't care.
Oof. Don't care.
Don't care.
But
care.
Because what team is that even in?
For
Or what division?
the East.
Philly, yeah. I don't care. I chose New York.
So don't look now, but the Lakers are only down by 3.
Let's crawl back
Yeah.
into this game.
I was gonna mention something and then it was down by 10, but then I think we got distracted with COVID.
LeBron
vaccine.
is playing.
You already know. Oh, look at this, though.
Tree! Anyways,
There's been a lot of threes in this game.
Let's move on to football. We had a fun week of football. I did not.
First
I did not
off,
have a fun.
college football playoffs. We all agree it's
It's
something.
So it's Alabama,
Alabama 1, Clemson 2,
Notre Dame,
Notre Dame 4, and
State.
Ohio State 3. Yeah.
So
Here's the thing with Notre
yeah.
Dame. I get why they put them in because they have a better resume than Texas A&M. But I think when it comes down to, you have to look at who has a better chance to play Alabama. And in my case, who would be a better matchup against Alabama? And so in theory, who would be better? My money would go to Texas A&M personally. But I can understand why you put Notre Dame in. But just know that it's going to be a massacre, a straight up massacre.
Notre Dame, and you might as well have put Cincinnati in. They're undefeated.
Yeah, it's tough.
Would Texas beat A&M be the team that you would change out for Notre Dame?
That would be I would change out Texas A&M for Notre Dame.
I think that would be
Would
a
you
lot
change
of
out any team
people's.
for Ohio State?
No, I have no issues with the other teams and where they're seated. I would just change Notre Dame to Texas A&M. If I was on the committee making that decision, I would have cast my vote for Texas A&M.
So my thing is, if Ohio State does not make it to the finals,
Yeah.
I think it was a mistake putting them there. Because I don't think they deserve to be there if they don't make it to the finals. Just because they are, LeBron ain't gonna get it. He don't got the refs no more.
That is explain to me, please. That is bull.
He ain't got the refs on his side. He got his 4th chip. That's all.
Even if Ohio balls out versus Clemson,
fuck?
it's a good close game. You still think Ohio State is going to be there?
Ohio State, they don't play enough. I believe that they've had too many. They should have had to have. I know. So much extra work. How are we going to get one extra game to have a play-in game between Ohio State and somebody?
Ohio State.
Well, I think they needed a play-in game.
No, Ohio State deserves to be in the college football playoff.
Northwestern almost beat them. If we would have ended the game at halftime, Northwestern would have.
Right, but
Ohio would have been out.
Right, but the fact of the matter is you don't end the game at halftime. You play a full game, and Ohio State
did.
and Ohio State flexed their muscle. because they are the superior team. And you can't sit there and say Notre Dame's bad or Northwestern's bad. Northwestern is a good football team. This is a Northwestern team that has 3 wins against ranked opponents. Ohio State's had to deal with a lot this year in terms of, COVID, players missing out, games being canceled, rescheduled, and they're still winning all these football games against ranked opponents. Like, they beat Indiana, they beat Northwestern. I don't think there's any issue. I think they have one of the best quarterbacks in the country in Justin Fields. Trey Sermon is established, like you saw what he did against Northwestern. So I do think Ohio State deserves to be in. And I personally don't think that the games matter because they started late. But the problem is with me is if you're going to use that excuse, you can't sit there and say Cincinnati shouldn't be higher because of the lack of games. Then you can't sit there and tell me that. If you're going to say Ohio State, the games don't matter for them, which I agree with. But then make sure you call it even and consider that with Cincinnati. So that's kind of my only bother about it. But I think Ohio State-Clemson is going to be a really good game. I think they match up well. I think that they're going to be able to take the running away from Travis Etienne, or at least they should. They have the capability of doing so. So there's that. And then it's basically just going to be who has the better quarterback. And
Braun complaining if he got his free throw.
Well, they reviewed it, and it was not an offensive foul.
Wait, is Justin Fields a Heisman finalist?
He is not. He has not played good the last couple of games.
Oh.
And for me, I think the gap between Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields is a lot bigger than what people realize, in my opinion. I think that's what it comes down to. I know Clemson's had some injuries on the defense side of the ball, so that could be very interesting. I think Ohio State has a chance to run the ball effectively because that's what's been winning in football games. So I'm intrigued to see what Trey Sermons and Master T are going to be able to do. I think it's going to be a good game. I think Clemson's poking the bear, too, because Dabo Swinney, he made his AP coaches poll. And
I love that.
I hated it.
So much.
That is petty to a T, and you're just poking the bear. Clemson's scared. Dabo Swinney's scared of Ohio State.
I think he is.
He should be. Ohio State is good enough to beat them.
Who else? Nick Saban came out with his. And I also found they were similar. It was just Ohio State was the big difference between them. I just thought it was funny.
Yeah. No. Did he vote Alabama number 1?
Yeah, well, of course.
Should vote Alabama. Alabama, yeah. Yeah, because they're the best team in the country, and they will roll to the national title. Everything that we are talking about is irrelevant because we know who's winning the national title, and we know who's going to win it in a landslide. It's going to be Alabama.
Bama.
It's going to be Bama.
Next year, though. Next year will be interesting.
Next year will be very interesting.
Losing a lot of players. We're losing.
Oh, yeah, Alabama could have 2 players in the top 10 this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So does Jamar Chase go in the top 10?
He goes in the top 5.
Well, it depends on. Right now, it depends on who's in those spots.
There might be a lot of quarterbacks going on in those first couple spots.
I think it's either. I don't think that.
The first 2 picks should be quarterbacks.
I don't think the Jets will take a quarterback if they don't have number 1 though.
No.
It's going to be interesting to see what the Jets do because now they're in a situation of if you trade down and get more picks.
They could trade down in the first round and get a different quarterback.
They could, but the problem is that at that point, if you're going to trade down to get a quarterback, why not get the best quarterback that's on the board, Justin Fields? Why would you settle for a guy like Zach Wilson or Mac Jones when the better option is Justin Fields at number 2? If I'm the Jets, I roll with Justin Fields. I think that's still a really good pickup. He's a really good modern-day quarterback. He's very comparable to Kyler Murray, in my opinion, and Kyler Murray is pretty good. So I think that's a good pickup for them. And I think that they can get, with a new offensive coach, I think they can give Justin Fields a chance to succeed with Mekhi Becton leading the front of the offensive line. They're just going to have to go out and spend money on offensive linemen and defense. But they're going to get C.J. Mosley back this year because he opted out because of COVID. So they're going to get him back. So they just need to open up the books and just make sure they utilize those first 2 picks. Wisely, because they have 2 first-round picks this year.
I think Jim Cadwell is the perfect guy for them, for head coach.
I think Jim Caldwell would be a really good hire.
I think that's who they need at this time.
Is Jim Caldwell more of an offensive-minded guy, or is he more of a defensive guy?
A little more offensive, but I mean, he's a lot more balanced than a lot of the
because he's going to go to he's probably going to go to the Texans. I love that hire. I think Jim Caldwell was wrongfully fired in Detroit.
I think everybody believes that.
I think with Deshaun Watson.
That'd be a good, like I said, because I thought he was wrongfully fired in Detroit.
Is Shane Wentworth still the punter in Houston?
Probably not.
I think it's Brandon Mann. But talking about the NFL, what a weird week it's been. We might as well start off on Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Chargers won in overtime. Who knew the Chargers weren't dead?
Who knew the Chargers were going to win that football?
I don't know. No.
Me.
Who did they play?
The Raiders. And that Derek Carr got hurt his groin. Marcus Mariota's
Chargers
back.
won, right?
They won in overtime.
OT.
Did I pick the Chargers to win?
I was the only one that picked the Chargers to win.
Damn.
I don't know.
Love being right. Yeah, Justin Herbert, he's really good. I don't know if you guys knew that.
I think we all knew that.
Yeah, he's really good.
I think our problems were with Justin Herbert. I think it was more so with the rest of the team.
I think the Chargers are so close to just really breaking out. I think they need a new head coach first and foremost.
Yep. I think they'll get it.
I think they need to find a way to keep Derwin James healthy, which is tough. I mean, who knows if they're going to – that's obviously a big if. But I think that they can beef up their defense in the draft in the offseason this year. They're going to get Derwin James back, so that'll improve their defense. A new coach that can open up Justin Herbert a little bit, maybe give him another weapon.
They need to create a protection to make weed just not a bad substance whatsoever in the NFL. Then a lot of players could just stay healthy.
I think we're working towards that, actually.
I know, but
I
think they need that to happen.
I don't think that's going to solve your California problem necessarily.
But down the road.
Herbert looked great. Still not my rookie of the year, but he's definitely top three. Definitely top three.
It's got to be Justin.
That's good. Justin Jefferson?
Obviously.
It's got to be.
There's no...
Over Herbert?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you see what Justin Jefferson's done?
Yeah.
My God.
Justin Jefferson has better numbers than
Justin Jefferson's having an historically great rookie year.
with a terrible quarterback.
That's not true, but whatever.
A terrible quarterback.
That's simply not true, but it's whatever. Kirk Cousins is a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. Y'all just ain't ready for that conversation.
You're funny. Mariota, do you think he won a starting job?
Just imagine.
He will be starting this week.
Oh, he probably did. He probably. One thing that it does show, it's valuable to have a backup in the NFL. It's such a valuable thing.
Very true.
I think Marcus Mariota now with the full week of practice could be very interesting. I think Mariota proved he can still be an effective quarterback. I don't think you roll with him as a franchise guy.
No, what a good transition.
Yeah, good transition quarterback. You can win a few games with Marcus Mariota.
But imagine the running game.
But he did have some bad turnovers late in the game that cost him the game. So that's kind of the caveat about it too, is he did have a really bad interception which lost them the game. So that's kind of my big thing.
Imagine the running game though if Marcus Mariota and Derrick Henry were on the same team.
That'd be scary good, bro. You know what else would be a really scary combo? Could you imagine? So like DeAndre Hopkins has no weapons in Houston, or Deshaun Watson has no weapons in Houston right now. Can you imagine DeAndre Hopkins?
Oh my God!
Shit,
Deadly.
Can you imagine? Imagine Deshaun Watson lobbing it up to just baseball mid DeAndre Hopkins.
They would have weapons if the training staff didn't screw over Will Fuller, if they didn't drop Kenny Stills for no reason. You're also kind of missing a big one, Brendan.
You don't trade DeAndre Hopkins.
What?
For a bag of chips.
David Johnson has...
No, I don't know. He's not been good. David Johnson has been nothing this year. And what is DeAndre Hopkins doing? Oh, you guys saw the catch against Philadelphia. I saw it.
He wears that Jordan glove for a reason.
Right. DeAndre Hopkins is an animal, and he should still be a Texan, but Bill O'Brien is a dumb ass.
Yeah. The Bills had a good game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bills are going to win.
Won the AFC East.
Bills for the first time in forever.
Proud of them. Proud of them.
Yeah, Bills are going to look like a Super Bowl team.
What's the Bills' record now?
10-4.
10-4.
So they're going to end 12-4.
They have a good shot at it.
I think they're going to be in the 2 seed.
I think they will too. I think the
Browns.
Pittsburgh going down.
Pittsburgh.
Well, yeah.
coach.
I could see them not winning the rest of the season.
I also could see the Steelers.
We'll get to the Steelers in a minute, though.
Which is a strong defense, and they're not going to be able to deal with that with their, weak offense.
Yes.
And then they play Cleveland, which
He's running to the board. This is my favorite part of the halftime show. I'm running to the board.
he ran faster than Anthony Davis average.
You're funny.
But yeah, I think the Bills are a legitimate threat to win the AFC.
Yeah.
I think they can match up really well with Kansas City. I think the defense has been struggling a little bit this year, but I think they're going to be able to pressure Patrick Mahomes. I think that the offense is methodical in how they play. Stephon Diggs is.
I think Stephon Diggs will kill their.
I think Stephon Diggs is one of the most unguardable receivers in football right now.
Because what do the Chiefs play? A lot of man-to-man, right?
Because Stephon.
No.
I think. Well, you can actually.
Terrible zone.
I'm just going to sit there and say that Stephon Diggs is a top 10 wide receiver in football. He is an elite receiver.
I'm not arguing with you there. I think he's top 5.
I think you can make a strong case for top 5. Strong case for top 5. He is an elite receiver. Beginning of the year, we were all saying he was easily above average.
Yes.
Now you can put him in that elite category.
Yeah, I agree.
Ben, your thoughts on Stephon Diggs, elite receiver? I think it's pretty.
I think top 10 is fair. I feel like I wouldn't put him top 5. I feel like I could come up with 5 receivers that I would rather have.
This year he's a top 5 receiver.
So you got D-Hop, you got Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
Tyreek, and then
I think if Julio's healthy.
Yeah, but the fact is he's not healthy.
Keenan Allen.
I think
he hasn't been on that.
I think Diggs is personally better than Keenan Allen personally, but
I agree.
I guess it just depends on how you view it.
I'm not putting him in my top 3, but I'm putting him in top 5.
No, I won't put him in my top 3, but top 5, yeah, I'll put him there.
I think he's like a solid 6 or 7.
Am I crazy if I think Calvin Ridley's in the top 5?
Yes, you are insane.
I'd put him in my top 10 now.
I would maybe put him in my top 15.
I think you could sneak into the top 15.
Top 15. That's a good spot for Calvin Ridley.
You have DK above Calvin Ridley or below it?
Yes, DK.
I forgot DK.
But I also think DK it helps when you have Russell Wilson.
What about AJ Brown?
Yes.
AJ Brown by the end of the year might be a top 10 receiver in football.
Okay.
Scary Terry
he's on the verge. 10 to 15 range.
Get him a quarterback, and then it'll be a top 10
for a whole year.
I have Scary Terry than Calvin Ridley.
You would rather have Scary Terry than Calvin Ridley? I agree with you.
I don't know if I would. Yeah, it'll be close. But Packers. I didn't know if they were going to win the game at some point.
I love the fun fact. The Packers have the best point differential of any NFC playoff team this year.
I knew you were holding something in your back pocket.
The Packers always do this. They go up 21-3 in halftime. They take their foot off the gas. They play preventative defense, and these teams crawl back, and that's what happened to the Colts.
That's fair.
That's what happened to the Colts game is we got to the fourth quarter, they tried to put their foot back down on the gas, and the Colts defense just shut them down.
Well, another thing, too, is once the Colts got the ball, they did not get the ball back. They were just milking clock. They were running the football effectively. So, when the Packers let off the gas pedal, they didn't even have a chance to get back in the game because they just couldn't get the ball back.
I'm not that worried about it, though, because I think when we get into the playoffs time,
I'm not worried. No, I'm not worried about the Pats. Well, it's not like that was a bad football team they lost to. The Colts are a team that could win that division. I think the Colts are a team that could be a sneaky team to make a playoff run.
Yeah, I'm not. I know we only won by 8 points against the Panthers, but I'm not. Like I said, we won more than any other NFC playoff team, so.
Yeah. Did you know? I found this stat earlier today. The Jets and the Jaguars have just as many wins over teams over 500, I believe, something like that. I screenshotted it. Let me find it. Nope. The Jets and the Jags both have the same amount of wins against team with winning records as the Packers.
That's interesting.
So what happens to the Packers when they face
We've played
winning
3 teams over 500 this year. Tampa,
now that are over 500.
Which means you've only...
Tampa, the Saints, and the Colts. We beat the Saints. Tampa was a garbage game, and we lost the Colts. I'm not worried, though.
Yeah. I don't know.
And I just thought I found that funny.
That's actually a really. I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, I saw it on Twitter. And I thought, gotta bring this up.
That's.
I'm not really worried about it.
I mean, I wouldn't be, but that's an interesting.
Remember, who in the NFC is our biggest threat right now? The Seahawks, the Saints, probably. That would be a good game. But
Fuck no.
The Rams.
Fuck no.
Hear me out. The Rams. If anybody has a chance to slow down Aaron Rodgers, the Rams. Because Jalen Ramsey on Devontae Adams is going to cause...
Devontae's better than Jalen Ramsey.
That's not... I'm not saying that's not true, but it's going to slow down Devontae.
Jalen Ramsey puts DeAndre Hopkins on the clamp. Plays him.
I think
I think Aaron Donald.
You know, and I will say this: the Rams would be able to put a lot of pressure on Aaron Rodgers. I think that the Rams, with how effectively they can run the football, can keep the ball away from Aaron Rodgers. So me being a negative fan, I think there's no chance in hell. But that actually is I think the Rams could match up well with Green Bay in all reality.
The Rams and the Saints are the only two defensive teams pretty much in the league,
basically.
And those are it's going to take to stop powerhouses like Green Bay,
and on top of that, the Rams could keep the ball away because if they can run the ball effectively, it could be interesting.
Like the Rams beat Seattle earlier this year.
The playoffs run through Lambeau. Playoffs run through Lambeau.
I think the playoffs are running through Lambeau.
Yeah, because, I mean, realistically...
We'll take a dome team in Los Angeles. Let's go.
Yeah, it's interesting because obviously the AFC is more stacked than the NFC. I don't even think the Saints are all that. I just don't really see the Saints as a team that can get to the Super Bowl.
No.
Drew Brees did not look good at all. They got thoroughly outplayed. Jesus.
Well, the thing is,
they got thoroughly outplayed by Kansas City. It's amazing that they were even in that game to begin with because they should have.
Their D-line played so good. Mahomes was sacked like 5 or 6 times.
Yeah. So, but even still, I think the Saints got thoroughly outplayed. I think that showed. I still don't think Drew Brees has been all that great this year. Obviously, I think he's a better option than Taysom Hill, but, you know.
Well, and I look at the NFC, and there's, like, nobody made... Besides the Packers, that even make me go like,
oh, Jameson.
Scary.
Then you have the NFC East, which is just a joke.
Honestly, I think the Saints should just throw Jameis Winston in for the last 2 weeks.
They won't do it though.
I know they won't, but I'm just saying they did that. We would see what Jameis can do with eyes. We saw what he could do without eyes. He can throw 30 touchdowns.
I would be okay with it. I think I'd be okay with it.
I'm sure you would. Yeah. I mean, either way, you're fine.
I don't know, and it's tough with Seattle because obviously Russell Wilson will always make life not fun to play against. And then defensively, they're playing a lot better, but they just get so plagued with injuries. It's ridiculous.
Plus, I still think this Seattle team was worse than the team last year, and we beat them in the playoffs last year.
I disagree. I think Seattle's a better team this year when fully healthy. The only thing I think that's really derailed them has been injuries. But I do think that if the Packers played Seattle right now in Lambeau, I do think the Packers would win that football game. So I just don't think that there's really a whole lot of threats in the NFC. I mean, because Tampa would be interesting. They have experience with Green Bay. In fact, they beat them quite handily. And Tampa, I think, had a really good game plan to stop Green Bay. And obviously, I wouldn't see them going away from that. The problem is I still think that Tampa still has a big identity crisis with their offense, and that's an issue because we're in Week 16 now. Mm-hmm. So that's a big issue for me. But when it's Tom Brady in the playoffs, I don't know. That's a different animal.
Tom Brady will literally just remove the mic from his helmet in the playoffs and just go.
Let Tom Brady do his thing. This is why you pay the big bucks for Tom Brady. This is where you win your Super Bowls.
Because Tom Brady has a shifty white guy. Tom Brady has Gronk. Tom Brady has some randomly, really good receivers.
Well, I think randomly good receivers.
Well, sorry, 2 not randomly good receivers, and then Antonio Brown, who is a former, best receiver in the league.
Yeah.
Mike Evans has skated on the top 5 a few times.
Yeah, Mike Evans is a really good.
Mike Evans, I feel like, is the most underrated wide receiver in the league. But
I don't. I don't.
I love Mike Evans.
I think Mike Evans this year has mainly just been a really good red zone target for Tom Brady.
Well, when Tom Brady decides to actually target him.
Yeah, well, I think he just doesn't target him, but I think he's a really good. Well, he has most targets in the red zone this year.
The Bucs could easily have the number 1 offense in the NFL if certain receivers would just get targeted when they're open.
Yeah.
But that's besides the point.
But also, too, Chris Godwin's been having a lot of injury issues this year, too. So it's
okay. Like I said, you have a shifty white guy. You have a bunch of people that you can put in plug and place.
If Tampa Bay, if the season were to end right now, it would be Tom Brady, Russell Wilson.
Okay, but one thing I actually wanted to say before I got on the offensive train, Tampa Bay's defense has been way better than I expected they would be.
Has been getting exposed over the last 5 weeks.
No, that's true. But I think in a lot more key moments, they're able to come up through. And they showed that earlier in the season they're going to be able to do it in the playoffs.
Not the laps.
They'll do it for Tom Brady.
I guess. I don't know. I'm not really sold on Tampa.
Okay, here's what I want you to...
Tampa's pretty much what I thought they would be beginning.
Go back to the year the Patriots played the Rams in the Super Bowl. The Patriots had the 20th ranked defense going into that playoffs. When they went through the playoffs, that defense played 30 times better.
I mean, right, but also there's a huge difference in coaching between Bruce Arians and Bill Belichick.
Well, I'm not going to say that's not true. I'm just saying defenses will up their game.
I don't know. I just think that coaching played a big factor because obviously Bill Belichick's a defensive genius.
Gross. What's the next game, man?
Next game up, Miami beat the Patriots again.
Yeah.
Not again. Again, like, bigger than this year.
Yeah. Always late in the season.
They always win in Miami.
What's that? They are officially eliminated from the postseason.
First time in forever. 2020 isn't that bad after all.
It's not that bad after all.
The Patriots.
Just took a global pandemic to take them down. But yeah, Miami looking scary.
They're 9-5, aren't they? Yeah.
So the Rams and the Saints are the only defensive teams in the NFC. The Dolphins and
the Steelers.
Steelers defense has not been good since they lost 2 linebackers.
I was just going to say, they've been hit with the injury bug heavily.
If they had their linebackers still, oh my God. Like, they wouldn't be losing to the Bengals.
Yeah, no shit.
With 4th-string quarterback.
Right.
Ryan Finley, my guy.
I think your defensive teams in the AFC are like the Dolphins, the Colts.
Oh, the Colts, yeah.
I kind of see the Bills, too. I think
The Bills would be so much better if they had Micah Hyde this season. With that injury, honestly, I think the Bills would be probably 14-2 right now if they had a defense.
It's not that they don't have a D.
Or sorry, if they had Micah Hyde.
Well, yeah, it's just...
Because they would have Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde, Tre'Davious White all in the secondary. How do you throw against that? And then plus you have Ed Oliver and a solid linebacking core.
Yeah, the problem is the Bills right now just aren't getting any pressure to the quarterback. I mean, it's outside of Ed Oliver. There's no one really getting to the quarterback right now. I think that's a big issue, especially when you're going to play teams like Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Micah Hyde played against the Steelers.
Did he? I thought he was out for the season on injury. Or is it Jordan Poyer, though?
No, Poyer played against the Broncos.
Oh, yeah.
I know that for sure. But I thought Micah Hyde played against the Broncos. So that's why I was like,
maybe I'm crazy. I
don't know.
I could have sworn he had a season-ending injury at the beginning of the season, though. But it might have been a quote-unquote season-ending injury. They're just like, oh, he's fine now.
I don't know. He's played all of December.
Hey, they've won every game that he's played.
I guess, maybe. Baltimore killed the Jags.
Nothing. I expect nothing less.
Win-win situation there.
I saw going into this week, they had the
caught a
highest
touchdown.
statistical chance to beat. Like, of all the games, they had the highest statistical chance to win.
Yeah, Des got a touchdown.
Yeah, I was happy about that.
I was very happy for him.
I think it brings Des from just, a happy-go-lucky story to, Des.
Were we talking about
Des can play a little bit.
touchdowns on the pod? Was that before the pod?
Before the pod.
Yeah, so Larry Fitzgerald's got a touchdown. Antonio Brown got a touchdown. Des Bryant got a touchdown. Frank Gore got his 100th touchdown, if I am correct. And Lev Bell got a touchdown. So it was a crazy week. It was a crazy week.
It's awesome.
We love it, though. We love Larry Fitzgerald. We love all of them.
Our old guys that keep that generation for as long as we can.
Titans? Or Indianapolis?
Indy.
Who did they play?
The Texans. And it's always close between the Texans and Indy.
Yeah.
It was a great game. Season came down the last drive. And, T.Y. Hilton delivered. He's playing on his contract year right now. And so this second half resurgence of T.Y. Hilton and the second half of the season here, the last 3 weeks, amazing. Not just because he's on my fantasy team.
I don't think the Colts should. I don't think the Colts will resign him next week.
I don't think so
He's been
either.
bad the last couple of years. He's getting older. He's getting more injured.
That's a really stacked wide receiver class. Just throw someone.
Yeah, exactly.
No point.
It's that easy. Just throw someone.
But it's cool to see Indy. They're making that playoff push.
Yeah, I think Indy's a really interesting team. I think once they move on from Phillip Rivers after this year, I think they're going to be a legitimate Super Bowl team. A team that can win the AFC.
So Gardner Minshew
or
Jags.
Dak Prescott.
Sam Darnold?
Yes, please, Dak Prescott.
You lost me a little bit with Sam Darnold, but Dak Prescott,
Is that
Carson
just
Wentz.
because you're salty because Sam Darnold beat the Rams?
It's not. I just don't think Sam Darnold's that outstanding. Now, do I think he could have a Matthew Stafford?
Matt Stafford.
Do I think now?
Yes,
Listen,
please.
do I think Sam Darnold could have a resurgence with the Colts? I absolutely think so. But if I had the option between these other quarterbacks, Sam Darnold would not be my first choice.
Not a free
I don't
agent, but
believe so.
all the talk is about trading him away. Because a new quarterback, a new coach, a new
If you're
whatever.
a Super Bowl contender that's
Do not
QB
want
away,
him.
why would you want to give him a Ryan? Like Pittsburgh or something?
That would be funny, wouldn't it?
Shoot.
Why not? Yeah,
The
Titans.
Rams.
Who did the Titans play
I
again?
don't even know.
I wish Les. I wish Les Snead.
The
would just
Lions.
Lions, yeah.
Yeah.
I wish Les
The
Snead
game
would
was
just
closer than it should
put his
have been.
balls on the
Yes.
table and draft a quarterback.
But I still,
I wish
Titans are still my
I wish
pick.
he would draft Kyle Trask in the second round. I wish he just would have. I wish he would just put all of his chips on the table, put his nuts on the
That's the
table.
ultimate deal. Straight trade, Goff for Wentz.
That's interesting. That's
They both have $100 million contracts, don't they? They're both the same age.
yeah. They were both drafted the same year.
Same year, back-to-back picks.
It's like the time that the Rams traded Sam Bradford for, or not Sam Bradford. Somebody,
Is it Nick?
didn't they traded for Nick Foles.
They did. That
They
was
traded
Wasn't
a
Sam
quarter.
Bradford?
I thought it was Sam Bradford, but Noah gave me the look of.
Well, I didn't know where you were going with that. We did trade Sam Bradford to Philadelphia.
It was Sam
Foles,
Bradford
yeah.
for Nick Foles. That's
Do it again, boys. Do it again.
Run it back.
Run it back.
Because then somehow Carson Wentz is still going to end up back on the Eagles,
And then win a Super Bowl.
and Jared Goff's going to end up on the Vikings.
There you go.
Damn.
That's interesting. But, Jeff Okuda finally, he's starting to do something. He's not looking as much as a bust.
Oh, man. I remember that first game against Detroit. It was so beautiful.
Yeah, I think
Not
that-
quite what he
I
panned
think-
out to be.
I think that would just the worst thing that could happen for him in his career. That was your first game. Yeah, you're gonna line up 1-on-1 with Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
I would just be like,
Confidence
pass.
killer.
My back hurts.
Yeah, Titans won that one. Not all that surprising.
Derrick Henry ran over the Lions.
Yeah, well,
Like Derrick Henry does to most teams.
Matthew Stafford making more great passes, no look. Nobody talks about it.
Matt Stafford
has just as much no look as Patrick Mahomes.
Like ever since this offseason, Matt Stafford is extremely underrated.
Matt Stafford has always been underrated. I think
everybody knows it, but nobody wants to
admit.
give him the credit, I guess.
Well,
but we all say, yeah, he's the most underrated player. But we won't go that next step.
Well, my biggest thing is
That's fair.
And couldn't create much for production.
That's literally not true, but whatever.
Well, they couldn't create a playoff berth.
What are you talking about? They made the playoffs twice with Calvin Johnson.
With Matt Stafford?
Yeah.
I thought Matt Stafford made the playoffs once and he lost.
He made the playoffs twice and lost both times. Because he made it again the year they played the Saints and got wrecked, and then they played the Cowboys and should have won but didn't.
All Lions fans want is 10-6 and a playoff win. Because that doesn't happen.
Matt Stafford has 3 postseason.
What?
3?
My God, Lions.
Against who? Who's the third one?
I don't know. I just Googled it. That was the little thing I said.
What year?
I don't know.
I'm trying to think who they...
He's trying to look at it.
Because I'm trying to think. They played the Saints one year. They played the Cowboys one year. That was the Des Cotta year.
Was it the Cardinals?
I don't believe so.
I thought one of the years that we had the Packers-Cardinals matchup in the postseason, I thought the Cardinals had to beat the Lions in order to get there.
Lions playoff history. You know the Lions are just one game out of the playoffs month? It's kind of weird.
No, the Lions got eliminated, didn't they? Lions did get eliminated.
Oh, they did? Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe. I just saw a thing for it, but that could have been from 2 weeks ago. So, they played Seattle one year and lost.
Oh, well.
And that was without Calvin Johnson.
Oh, well.
Interesting.
Oh.
Damn, Matthew.
So, a game that didn't matter. That was very fun to watch if you watched it. Not pretty high scoring.
Yeah.
Backup quarterbacks. Dallas versus San Fran.
Remember when didn't they switch this out for Giants-Browns? Wasn't it supposed to be the whatever?
Yeah, and this would have been a better Sunday Night Football game than what it was.
Yeah, it was a good one.
It's a good battle. Very underrated in this week, I think.
Yeah, I think what a big takeaway is the C.J. Beathard to Kendrick Bourne Hail Mary at the last end, down 2 scores, making it down 1. The Niners are still not
Niners are doing more than they should be.
With half of their team, the Niners are a lot better than they should be.
Because Kyle Shanahan's a top 5 coach in football.
I think that's what it's showing. I've seen a lot of things about Kyle Shanahan. Not thinking that Jimmy G is going to be the next QB.
I think a lot of people are thinking that right now.
I feel like Jimmy Garoppolo is going to end up back in New England somehow.
I
don't hate it.
I think Tom Brady's going to end up in San Fran, though.
I think Tom Brady
he'll end his career in Tampa, whether this year or next year.
This year they're going to get blown out in the first round of the playoffs.
I don't know. Tom Brady has always wanted to play for the 49ers.
He has. I don't feel like I just don't feel like he's the type of quarterback that.
Would Kyle Shanahan even want him?
No, he wouldn't. He's not his type of quarterback. Jimmy G's not even the quarterback that he wants.
Who's the quarterback he wants, Conway?
What's that?
What's the quarterback he wants?
A guy like maybe Zach Wilson or Trey Lance.
So yeah, Kyler Murray-esque quarterback.
Yeah.
Seattle won.
Seattle won now.
If Alex Smith would have played this game, the Washington football team would have beat the Seahawks.
They would have.
Chase Young
is really good.
Only 2 rookies to make the Pro Bowl.
Chase Young is already a top 10 defensive end.
My God, it's amazing.
And I actually predicted that too. I predicted that Chase Young.
That's true.
I did say Chase Young by the end of the year would be a top 10 defensive end.
If we're classifying by defensive end, is it too early to say top 5?
No. If you watch what Chase Young does in the game.
The first name that I think of is
Bosa, TJ Watt.
The Bosa brothers, TJ Watt.
TJ Watt is an outside linebacker.
No, he's a DN.
He's an outside linebacker.
No, TJ Watt's a DN.
TJ Watt is an outside linebacker.
Well, he's linebacker.
Then why was he a Pro Bowl for defensive end this year?
Because the voting's stupid.
Well, no.
He was listed in both.
Oh, he's an outside linebacker.
Yeah, he was listed as both, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's weird.
So he would have gotten in either way.
Aaron Donald, Myles Garrett, Nick Bosa when healthy, Chase Young.
Chase Young.
Maybe Chase
Chandler
Young.
Jordan.
Cam Jordan.
Chandler Jones.
Chandler Jones.
Chandler Jones is a linebacker. You can't tell me otherwise.
I think I'd rather have Cam Jordan, I think, than
But
Chase Young.
Chase Young at 5 then? I mean, maybe Joey Bosa there at 5 and Chase Young just outside.
I'm not going to argue it.
So, yeah, guys like Nick Bosa. Well, you also have to consider Danielle Hunter when he's healthy too.
Frank Clark was another defensive end.
He's trash. He should not been. It should have been in the Pro Bowl. Well, and the thing is, and if we're throwing TJ Watt in that conversation of edge rushers, and you have to put Khalil Mack in there too.
Yeah, but that's why I said classified just as defensive.
Yeah, well,
they're all linebackers.
It's weird with defensive ends. I feel you have to kind of put edge rushers and defensive ends in that same category. So not quite top 5, but by gosh, by the end of next year even, I'm for it. Oh, Dennis Schroeder is playing so well, and I love that he's a Laker.
Is Russ going to be able to cook? Because Russ is on a downward spiral.
Rams? No, we're going to lose the Rams.
They play the Rams.
I don't think the Rams are going to be able to run the football. And if they can't do that, they put pressure on Jared Goff.
If Carlos Dunlap and Jamal Adams are in there, who they have on defense is going to stop them? KJ Wright?
Yeah, no.
Bobby Wagner.
So what's the extent of Carlos Dunlap and Jamal Adams? Like, how serious of injuries do they have?
I mean, are the Seahawks guaranteed a playoff spot?
Yes, they clinched.
I don't
they clinched a playoff spot.
But not the division.
Not the division, because they're only I think a game behind. Well, they're a game behind.
They're 10-4. The Rams are 9-5.
What are the Cardinals at?
So Rams versus Seahawks.
The Cardinals are the bottom seed in the playoffs. Right?
Cardinals are 9-6, right? Yeah, 9-6.
Which would make them have the same record as the Rams.
The Rams are 9-5.
How have the Cardinals played one more game?
Carlos did not practice. Carlos did not practice Wednesday, did not practice Thursday, and was a limited participant on last week because it's Tuesday. Last week, at least. I don't know.
I know, but Seahawks play Rams and then they play the Niners at Arizona.
Was that Chad Beadle?
I don't know.
Who?
No, it wasn't. It was a different one.
Seahawks.
Chad Beadle.
Somebody.
War Machine.
Yeah, well, Carlos Dunlap's questionable, so I feel like if he can play, he's going to play.
That's Falcon.
And Jamal Adams was a full participation in practice. So Jamal Adams will play, and it seems that Carlos Dunlap will play.
No, I see what the Rams.
I don't. You mean to tell me after what they did against the Jets that they're not going to...
You're just hating on them because they beat the Jets. They lost to the Jets.
Well, do you blame me?
No.
So Rams...
Have you not heard the conspiracies?
Rams, Bill said we'll beat you. We'll let you beat us if you can let them beat you.
No, and I think that's bogus, but it's whatever.
I think
here's what I think could happen. And I think I mentioned this last week. Bill Belichick throws Week 17 so the Jets don't get the first overall pick.
That's guaranteed. Yeah.
I think that's going to happen.
Actually, is there another 2-winning football team?
There's not.
The
Bengals won, so they're a 3-win team.
Yeah, Bengals 3 wins. Sure. Plus they were tied up there, which would make them have a better record than a normal 3-win team.
Yeah, they realistically could be a 4-win team.
Yeah.
Cardinals make playoffs with a win and a Chicago loss.
Who is Chicago plays?
Chicago plays
the Jags.
The Jags.
Let's go, Jags. Actually, I think I picked the Jags. So the Jags are winning.
And then the Rams. If the Rams
just have to win.
Just have to win. Yep.
So wait. So if the Bears win this week, the Cardinals don't get a spot. Oh, it's just clinch.
Just clinch.
But if the Cardinals just win out, in theory.
Well, because the Rams play the Cardinals week 17, that could decide a playoff spot. That could be a deciding thing right there.
Titans win with
Chicago also gets to play Green Bay.
Titans win with a Colts loss.
And then the Vikes are probably out of it because they have to play New Orleans.
We'll get
They're only good against New Orleans in the playoffs.
Speaking of the NFC North, Bear
down. Come on, Mitch Trubisky. What have I been telling you guys for the past 2 or 3 years? What have I said? Mitch Trubisky.
Cameron Dantzler, though.
Trubisky.
Cameron Dantzler, he's pretty good. He's PFF's highest rated corner over the last 5 weeks, so he's pretty good.
He's not memeing you, Ben.
No, I know. I'm just stating the facts.
I see the PFF things all the time.
No, you see the Packers PFF. No, you see the Packers PFF things.
I also follow PFF.
If there's not a Packers stat, you don't see it.
No, okay, maybe he's not. I think he's the best. What are his grades? I have my phone's dead, but I know Cameron Dantzler has one of the highest.
You're speaking of it. It's the last thing PFF posted.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there it is.
Rookie quarterback games with coverage grades above 90. Cameron Dantzler, 2. The rest of the NFL?
Yeah, no. Cameron Dantzler has a coverage grade of 90. That would put him near the top of the NFL, of 90 plus.
Right now, the top 3 highest graded corners are David Howard, Jerry Alexander, and Bryce Kelly.
Where's Cameron Dantzler? Well, no, but
this is the top 3.
Well, yeah, no. Cameron Dantzler's not the best, but he's been graded the best over the last 3 weeks. So he's greatly been improving. Jeff Gladney's been getting better, but he's not at the level of Cameron Dantzler. So I don't know. I thought Mitch played good. I don't think he was outstanding, but he played good enough to beat the Minnesota Vikings. I also thought the Bears defense made plays when they needed to.
To be fair, they did lose to the Vikings earlier in the season, so
right.
Hey.
It's a good win for Mitch. So.
It is. It's. I can't sit there and say Mitch has been bad over the last few weeks because he's kind of crawling back to a playoff spot. So, good for Mitch. I don't think he's been outstanding, but he's playing good enough to win games. I think he'll play good enough to beat the Jaguars.
So,
then he'll come back down right against Green Bay.
I want to bring up a question. So, Nick Foles was struggling under Matt Nagy.
2-5.
Is Matt Nagy...
Since Matt Nagy has stopped calling plays, Montgomery has ran for over 100 yards in every single game.
Oh, he's still not calling plays. I thought he might be calling plays with Mitch back.
Nope. Since not calling plays, Mitch Trubisky's been playing better. Dave Montgomery has rushed for over 100 yards in every single game he's played.
Did the Bears defense bounce back? That was the question.
Not really.
Maybe Matt Nagy just needs to
go.
Hasn't the Bears been have scored more than 30 points in 3 games straight or something?
Something like that.
Ever since Mitch Trubisky came back starting. So 3 or 4.
Yeah, so it's almost it's not Matt Nagy. Not saying.
Matt Nagy was really good for the Bears. He kind of got them back to their original mindset.
Yeah, 3 straight.
I almost feel like Matt Nagy needs a spot in the office somewhere, but not
the Bears. The Bears are in a really tough spot
Titans
because
somebody else bad.
Bill O'Brien.
Did I say the Titans are bad? The Titans aren't bad.
Their pass defense is bad. Over the last couple weeks, they've been ranked 30.
Oh, I thought you were saying the Titans are bad.
No. I'm saying specifically their pass defense is bad.
Oh, yeah, because they can't get to the quarterback.
Yeah.
Lions, Texans, Bears.
Well, and whenever it seems like their linebackers like to get themselves ejected too. So there was that whole thing for.
You know what? It was probably Raj. Raj gave Mitch the MVP touch. That's what changes everything around. That, and I've never stopped believing in him. He knows that I believe that he's a top 10 quarterback in my
opinion. Yeah, you deploy your taco holder. Instead of putting tacos in, you put Mitch Trubisky.
He is in my car.
Taco holder is like the sunglass holder if you're a lame person listening, but I know you guys aren't lame because you listen to us.
But yeah,
the taco holder.
I love Trubisky. I hope he gets the job
I don't
back.
listen to
Don't
that,
think he will.
I would
But
ruin that.
I hope he
sentence.
does.
I think the Bears' future is very shady
Yeah.
because they're overpaying for a lot of defensive play. Like they don't really have a lot of cap space. They're gonna have to get rid of Allen Robinson because he wants out. They don't have a quarterback. Who knows what's gonna happen with their head coach? The Bears don't really have a future right now. The Bears are in a really tough spot. Yeah, that's all I can really say about the Bears.
Well, Bears might make the playoffs this year.
I know you're not. I know my buddy who's a Vikings fan is also not upset about it.
I just hope the best for Max. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
But
Sweet. Tom Brady, another comeback in his past.
speaking about goats, what happened there? Because I didn't watch the game.
So bad.
I did too. I was like, ooh, Falcons revenge game against Tom Brady,
No.
and then I was like, oh, just kidding.
The Falcons fans have endured so much pain.
Hey, if we would have just ended the game at half.
Exactly. That's all you gotta say. But hey, Tom Brady proved he can still come back.
I guess
mean,
the 4-11 Falcons, but
The Falcons has made every game since they fired what's his face.
The Falcons are actually a good football team.
Yes.
They could just hold on to leads. Their season would be
Yeah.
a lot different.
They have been in almost every game since they fired I think they've been in almost every game all year, even with Dan Quinn.
Because here, let me...
no, they had a couple rough games with Dan Quinn at the beginning of the year. I know they did.
Okay, so here is what the Falcons have done this year. A lot of sadness. So, they lost to Seattle.
Yeah.
Should have beat Dallas. Should have beat Chicago. Lost to the Packers. Should have beat Carolina. Beat Minnesota. Should have beat the Lions if Devontae Free or if Todd Gurley wasn't a dumbass and didn't get into the end
That's all I
zone.
gotta say.
They beat the Falcons. They beat the Broncos. They lost to the Saints handily. They beat the Raiders handily. Lost to the Saints again. Lost to the Chargers, and that could have gone. And they should have beat the Bucs. So they should be a 9-win football team. At bare minimum, they should be in the playoff hunt with the wins that they should have had because of blown leads.
Yep.
So Falcons are but now they end the season with the Chiefs and the Bucs.
Beat the Bucs, Falcons. Do it the second time. Don't you good?
Maybe.
I don't think so. I will never have faith in Atlanta again.
But you know what happened in that game? Because I really don't. It just kind of happened, I guess.
Bad play calling late in the game. And
That's fair.
Matt Ryan wasn't good.
Matt Ryan isn't all that great anymore.
Wow.
You know who was really great?
Kyler Murray
and
Jalen Hurts. Oh my
Jalen
God.
Hurts is the top.
What? Oh, it was beautiful.
Interesting.
Jalen Hurts was 24 for 44, 338 yards, 4 touchdowns, 3 passing, 1 rushing. Was sacked 6 times, though. Kyler Murray, who won the football game, had a little better game.
He isn't the MVP this year, but it's whatever.
Kyler was 27 to 36, 406 yards, averaging 11.3 yards per thing. 3 tutties, 1 INT. How many times was he sacked?
Is Kyler Murray just going to turn into Max Russell Wilson and be this team over here?
Yep. I fully believe so.
Everybody thought Lamar would do it, so.
I fully believe that Kyler Murray is the next Russell Wilson. So,
Yeah, I do.
except for he'll get a little more respect than Russell Wilson has gotten.
And a little bit more
The media's already very high on Kyler Murray. They like to shove him down your throat.
I'm sure they weren't higher than Russell Wilson.
You know, I want to apologize.
That's
to
right.
Kyler Murray. I did not think that he would be the right pick at number 1 for the Cardinals, but he
Most people didn't. That's fair.
I was going to say I was.
I don't know who did necessarily.
That Actually, that story about Kyler Murray entering the NFL draft was the very first thing we talked about on this podcast.
Yeah.
I remember one of the first things I even said on the podcast was that they were going to take Kyler Murray at 1 with Cliff Kingsbury. As soon as they hired him, I'm like, they're taking Kyler Murray 1, everybody! Kyler Murray's going number 1.
And it happened.
Next here we have the Kansas City Chiefs
Yeah.
beating the New Orleans Saints. Drew Brees came back.
He struggled. I think they were like 0 for 10 on his first time passing.
That's beautiful. Right? I don't think he should have came back.
Well, and they played a lot better in the second half. I think
That's
once
fair.
Brees got into the rhythm, Brees kind of got thrown into the spotlight against the Chiefs, which is a difficult situation for anybody. I think they stayed better in the second half, but I don't know. I know it sucked, but I think if they could play again, I think it'd be closer.
Yeah, I'd agree with
I
that.
don't think they will play again, but
No. Well, the only way they would play again is in the Super Bowl.
yeah.
And I don't have either of these teams going to the Super Bowl, so
You don't have KC going to the Super Bowl?
no.
We have going to the Super Bowl.
Mafia. Even though I don't believe in the Mafia.
Bills Mafia.
I think it has to be Mafia, right? Mafia or Miami.
I think they're a very good team, too. Definitely not Miami. But I think Buffalo has a really good shot.
I'd be okay with playing Buffalo in the Super Bowl.
Of course you
I think it'd be a fun game.
would. Jets. I've never seen a fan base more disappointed in a win in my lifetime.
They're so bad they can't even tank properly.
Dude, I think it was Adam Gase's way of saying, you know what? You give me all this shit, so fuck you.
They were getting shit because they lost that other game just a couple weeks ago. That was really close.
Yeah.
And on Hail Mary, they rushed 8 on Hail Mary.
Yeah, vintage Greg Williams.
But, yeah. Crazy. Is it an anomaly? Or, are the Rams dead?
I think this is an anomaly. I think any team losing to the Jets is an anomaly.
I agree with that.
It's the worst anomaly in the history of football, but it's an anomaly.
Hilarious, though.
I'm not. As a Rams fan, this would make me sad. This would disappoint me.
It's embarrassing is what it is. It doesn't make me sad. All you can really do is just be embarrassed. That's all you can really do.
I don't think it would, ruin... I don't think I think that much less of the Rams.
I do.
Apparently, though, that locker room after that win, quite electric, like they just won the Super Bowl.
Well, yeah.
I'm sure. I would be too. You beat a division-leading team.
I think the Jets could come back and have a great game this week.
Here's something interesting I will propose about the Rams. So I kind of base this thing with coaches in every sport. I call it okay, so for example, you're at a job, right?
Uh-huh.
And let's say every now and then you're late to work because of whatever reason. You have a flat tire, you did wait past your alarm, human stuff, right? Because we're all human.
Yes, sir.
You're
just Toys R Us. And show up late most of the time anyways.
Or
backs.
A way to give shots at people.
No, it was all of us.
Right. So, that stuff happens. So, and your boss is like, okay, well, we don't like that you're doing that. Clean it up. Let's just move on getting better. Then, let's say, for my job, for example, you get a little rude to a customer. You just snap at them or whatever, or holiday season gets crazy. That's not as ideal because you want to represent the company well. So it's hey, don't do that. This is your second warning.
You get too angry, you sock them in the groin, whole big lawsuit.
Right. And then here's what I call the fireable offense. I take money out of the register, or I steal an item, or I steal a gift card. That's a fireable offense. There's no getting past that. There's a level of coaching things that I view, and I call it my fireable offense kind of law of averages. There are some things that are minor, but it's your warning that, hey, clean it up. We don't want this to happen. And then there's fireable offenses. For example, Dan Quinn blowing a 28-3 lead in the Super Bowl is a fireable offense because I view a fireable offense as a coach as if you do something that can derail what you're trying to do as a team, or if it affects the ultimate outcome of what's going on with the team. Dan Quinn blowing a 28-3 lead affected their Super Bowl and affected their future. That's a fireable offense. Bill O'Brien trading DeAndre Hopkins for a bag of chips. Fireable offense. Should have been fired on the spot. So this is not a fireable offense for Sean McVay. This is your being late to work offense. If you're catching my drift.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing with Sean McVay. Everyone, I feel deep down, he may still rest on his laurels as everyone calling him Sean McVay, young boy genius. I don't think it's that extreme anymore. There are a lot of coaches better than Sean McVay at this point. Sean McVay, the Rams in general, when he first came in, they were electric on offense. And their Super Bowl run, they were electric on offense, and Goff is as good as he's ever been. 2 straight years of regression on the offensive side of the ball. 2 straight years of regression from Jared Goff. And that is something you don't want to see when you're an offensive-minded coach. And now you can say what you want about, Jimmy Garoppolo and how he got to Super Bowl and he's regressing this year. But you can blame that on injuries. I think Kyle Shanahan runs a little bit of a different scheme than what Sean McVay does.
I don't know. TT6 coming real quick.
Yeah, right. If only.
Yeah, they totally released that, at 11 o'clock at night in the middle of a basketball game.
Right. But, so I think it's not the end of the world for Sean McVay, but this is like, hey, like things have not exactly been going the way we want to. Yes, we're winning football games, but this whole thing, how you're just this offensive juggernaut of a coach, I've really been seeing over the last couple of years, especially for how the first 2 years have went with Sean McVay. And this is a bad loss. It's one thing if we lost to a team that has 3 wins or 4 wins, whatever. That stuff happens. The NFL's weird like that. The Chiefs only lost to the Las Vegas Raiders. That stuff happens. The winless Jets, what some people were saying would have been the worst football team ever had they gone 0-16.
They still play.
And they're not, because I feel like you have to give it to the 08 Lions because you just go winless and they were bad.
Good job, Dan Orlovsky.
Yeah, good job, Dan Orlovsky. So yeah, that's my thing with Sean McVay. I still like him as our coach and all that. I think it's definitely time for a new quarterback. I think it's obvious at this point. I wish Les Snead would just put all the chips in
and Lakers winning.
Draft a quarterback in the second round. It probably won't happen, but I wish they would. But I don't know. I think we need to pump the brakes on talking about how great Sean McVay is. I know I am, so.
So the next game was kind of a snooze fest.
Yeah, I mean.
But you know what was a fantastic game?
What?
Steelers-Bengals.
Oh, my Lord.
Steelers-Bengals!
Let's go.
Oh, my God.
Oh, so amazing.
Big Ben is he's fine.
Ron's hurt. Ron's out for the season. He can't even walk. Look, he's in so much pain. He's not coming back.
He's literally fine.
Look. Oh, his ankle. Oh.
Yeah, his ankle.
God, what is this? Anthony Davis every 10 minutes in the playoffs?
All right.
Oh, that didn't look as good that second time around, though.
Okay, so for the people viewing at home, LeBron is literally fine. He's literally on the court. He's literally just retying his shoe. He's literally fine. So
it's funny because our listeners probably are watch this game and then they're going to listen to this 2 weeks later and be like, what are they talking about? LeBron got hurt?
Yeah, no. Just not to scare anybody, LeBron is literally fine.
So he's limping.
Okay.
He's going like Anthony Davis court-wide.
All right, so here's the thing, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's blaming Juju Smith-Schuster. That was the whole thing besides it being Muppet Night Football. It was Juju Smith-Schuster's the problem. He's dancing on logos. He's made more TikToks than he's had receptions in a game this year. Stop with that.
He was
Juju Smith-Schuster is your last fucking problem. Your team fucking sucks. Your quarterback jerks off more than he can throw a football. Or he's not. That's his problem.
All right, so here's the thing.
He's not good. You can't get a run game going with besides Benny Snell, and what's that going to do? Your defense, you've lost your stars, and they're not looking like they should. And we've already called this the worst, best team in the league, so stop blaming Juju. He's just dancing on the logo.
No,
what Juju's always done.
Here is the issue.
Always been the guy.
Here's the issue. It's so easy to clown him when he does this stuff and plays like ass every week. Juju Smith-Schuster is not a good receiver. And
he's not a bad receiver.
He's not good. He's not a good receiver. So
he's doing Juju things. Nobody's talking about Jackson Mahomes dancing every week.
Right, because Jackson Mahomes doesn't play football. and his brother is Patrick Mahomes, who is the best quarterback in football. The thing with the Steelers, and Mike Tomlin actually said today that he's going to talk to Juju about his dancing on the logo TikTok thing, which I 100% agree with.
But he also said he's not going to do it as an excuse. There's no excuses. We need to play better.
I understand, but it's clearly No, I don't care if it's your thing, but it is clearly distracting you from the ultimate goal, and that's to win football games, because Juju is not playing good. He takes 10 minutes out of his day instead of warming. For example, Deontay Johnson was out 3 hours. Deontay Johnson, who leads the NFL in drops, he was out there 3 hours before the game started. He didn't drop a single pass yesterday. He was targeted 6 times, caught all of them. So, with that being said, Juju Smith-Schuster, I think his priorities are not there right now. I feel like the Pittsburgh as a unit is just struggling, and I think Juju Smith-Schuster is a big part of that. It's Big Ben, too. It's the running game as well. But Juju Smith-Schuster is just as big of an issue with that, and so is Chase Claypool, because I think they are distracted. I think when you're losing this bad, I think changes have to be made. I think you need to readjust the focus, because the focus is clearly not there right now from all the players. And when you're a team that thinks they can vie for Super Bowl, you need all hands on deck. You need everyone buying in and everyone being focused, being ready. And that's not the case. If I'm Mike Tomlin after losing three in a row and losing to the Bengals, you know what I would have done as Mike Tomlin? I would have called out Juju Smith-Schuster in front of everybody and you're cutting that crap out right now or I'm not playing you, because clearly it shows me that your priorities are elsewhere. I understand you're doing your thing, Juju, but you can't back it up. You can't sit there and dance on the logo and sit there, I'm just being myself, when you're just playing bad. You're not good right now.
What makes him playing bad?
What do you mean what makes him playing bad? Fumbles, drop passes, not creating separation, not giving Big Ben any help by getting open? I don't know. That's not very good if you ask me.
That fumble was like a huge hit, though.
No, and I'm saying that, but he's fumbled even prior. Like I said, obviously that was just a nice play by Von Bell, but fumbled it there.
Oh, yeah. I totally forgot he was on the Bengals.
Yeah, Von Bell. That was a sick play. Yeah, so Juju Smith-Schuster has issues with drops. He's had an issue with turnovers. He's had an issue with really just getting open and being an effective receiver in the offense, really even being a factor in the offense, because Chase Claypool early in the year was getting his reps in. Deontay Johnson had a good game. And I understand Big Ben's not playing well, but I don't think Juju Smith-Schuster's helping the cause by any means. So I think it's just a big ultimate distraction. And I think what's going on with Pittsburgh is they just need to rally in the troops and get everybody refocused. And that's just how it is, because they've now lost 3 in a row, 2 of which to not good football teams. You lost to the Bengals. Yeah. The Bengals. You made the worst defense in the NFL look like Pro Bowl, Super Bowl caliber defense.
Not the worst defense in the NFL.
No, they're one of them. Not the worst, but they are one of the worst. See, that's the thing. You wouldn't know by watching that game against Pittsburgh. You would not know that. But they are one of the worst defenses in the NFL. They are so bad.
You also wouldn't know that they're starting their third-string quarterback that game.
Ryan Finley did not play out that great, really. I think what Cincinnati was successful with on offense, they ran the ball effectively, and Pittsburgh wasn't able to get any pressure on the quarterback, which kept Pittsburgh off the field. And Ryan Finley used his legs quite well in that football game as well. But I'm pretty sure Ryan Finley finished with under 100 passing yards. He wasn't that outstanding, but he didn't. But yes, and that's it. They did not turn the ball over, and that does wonders when you're playing a good football team.
And that's what you would expect for a third quarterback. You would expect a turnover.
You would. I totally get that. I'm not saying he was bad. I thought he played fine, but he wasn't like outstanding. I thought what made them good. Oh no, KCP. I think what made them effective is they ran the ball well and they didn't turn the ball over, and that's why they won. And also Pittsburgh was awful offensively, just as they've been over the last few weeks.
Dang, KCP looks just as hurt as LeBron. Out for the season. He's dropping like flies. Too short of an off season.
Well,
all the people that put bets on the Lakers going back to back. Hate to tell you.
Guys, everything is fine.
So we picked our Christmas NBA games.
Yeah.
We get might be kind of fun Christmas NFL game.
I think it's going to be really fun.
I'm excited for it.
Vikings Saints. No Stephon Diggs this time.
No, but you know who there is?
Justin
Jefferson. You know who maybe maybe better eventually. Justin Jefferson. You know who won that trade? The Vikings.
Well, honestly,
I think it's an even trade.
I think it was great for the Bills too. The Bills
That's fair.
needed a star receiver right now, and that's what they got.
That's
Yeah,
fair. That's fair.
I think both teams got what they needed in the trade. The Vikings got their next guy, Justin Jefferson, Baby Moss, and Stephon Diggs was a top 5 receiver in football, and they got that. And he's been really good with Josh Allen.
Yeah.
A lot better than I thought that he would have been this year, if I'm being 100% honest.
Me too.
Yeah.
So I have this being a little bit higher scoring game. I think that this Saints team though is going to be a lot better than this Vikings team. I'm winning 34-21. Drew Brees is going to have a bounce back game.
I do not have the Saints winning this game.
I know.
I think the Minnesota Vikings are just barely going to be able to do it. 27-21.
The Vikings do own the New Orleans Saints.
If you've looked at the past, exactly. If there's one team against the Vikings that I feel confident in the Vikings winning,
It's the Saints.
it's the Saints. And I mean, the Vikings, they're making a push.
They are making a push.
They're not
The Vikings need to win more.
exactly. And I mean, who wouldn't like the Steelers or the Saints to lose again? I mean,
I think
nobody dislikes that. Vikings 27-21. Be a fun win.
I think it's going to be a really close game. I think Minnesota's going to be able to run the ball well with Dalvin Cook. That's their bread and butter, and it's been working all year, no matter how good of defenses they play. I think Kirk Cousins has been, to contrary of everybody else, over the last 5 games, he's been playing pretty dang decent. He's been actually pretty dang good, not going to lie.
I feel like Kirk Cousins does this every year, and then he starts the season off next year.
Here's the misconception with Kirk Cousins. He can't win in the big time games. If Kirk Cousins could do that, oh my gosh. Well, first off, let's just think of how better the Vikings would be as a threat in the NFC. So that's always been the issue with Kirk Cousins. But he did get a big playoff win against the New Orleans Saints in the Superdome without fans now. But with that being said, I do think the Saints are still the better team. I'm going to pick the Saints in a close one, 23-20. I don't think Brees is going to play particularly well. They don't really have they don't have any of their really star weapons out right now because Michael Thomas is out for the rest of the regular season. So I think it's really going to come down to how well can they use Alvin Kamara, how well Minnesota's secondary is going to play, because this is a chance for Minnesota's secondary to really kind of take over against really a lack of weapons for New Orleans. I think this is Minnesota's chance to really kind of take control and see what they can do with these young corners in Cameron Dantzler and Jeff Gladney. But I think New Orleans' defense overall is better, and I think it'll, it can put pressure with this bad Vikings offensive line. So for that, I have a pretty low-scoring game, 23-20. Saints get the Christmas Day victory.
If you thought Noah's score was low, just wait.
You do have a low-scoring game.
There's more.
Damn.
There's less.
Oh!
So if you want offense, I don't think you're going to see it here.
No, but if you want a fun game,
Brees is going to try to figure out how to play again. And I think Kirk Cousins is just going to struggle against that defense. I think defense will find ways to stop Dalvin Cook just because the Vikings' offensive line is not the greatest.
Well, they're very good in the running attack, but I do think this is a chance for New Orleans to put some pressure on the QB. I don't think Kirk Cousins is going to play bad, but I feel like Kirk Cousins is going to take some hits in this game.
But nonetheless,
Patrick Mahomes is around.
Yeah, right, and that's a pretty good injured, but still a pretty good Chiefs offensive line.
Yeah. So I have New Orleans winning 19-10.
Interesting.
Next up, we got some games that matter.
Well, that game matters.
That's true. That game does matter too.
That's
You're right.
math implications.
Dolphins at Raiders. This game matters more so for the Dolphins making that playoff push.
Well, for the Raiders, they're technically not out of it yet.
That's fair.
And if they can win this game and cut a game out from Miami, the Raiders will come back to Week 17.
That's fair. That's fair. I have Miami win this one, 22-17. I think it's going to be close.
Yeah.
Mariota starting at quarterback, so that shakes things up a bit from the norm. But B-Flow is the better coach, so
yeah, agreed.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a close game, too. Well, both these teams are teams that are not 100% sold on being, like, either really good or they're kind of bad.
Miami is good. I don't think that's the issue. There's still growing pains with Tua. Like, there's still mistakes there. There's missed reads.
Yeah.
Typical rookie mistakes because he is a rookie.
Derek Carr is not a rookie.
Derek Carr is not a rookie. He's hurt. But neither is Marcus Mariota. He is not a rookie.
Yeah, too bad Nathan Peterman's talking.
I know.
If it was Nathan Peterman, I would have 52-26 Dolphins. But with Marcus Mariota, I have Dolphins 28-26.
Hey, if Nathan Peterman was in, he might be able to get the record for most touchdowns in the game. Just for the Dolphins.
Yeah. Dolphins put up 10 touchdowns against the Raiders. Nathan Peterman throws 4 pick sixes.
If Nathan Peterman was starting, get Miami's defense on your fantasy now.
Hell yeah.
For championship week, get Miami's defense.
So I want to bring this up. If Miami can pick off Patrick Mahomes 3 times,
Imagine what they can do.
How
with
many
Marcus
turnovers do you
Mariota.
think they can take from Marcus Mariota?
I would say 3 or 4. They can get a couple interceptions, force a couple turnovers, especially if Mariota runs the football.
I think Xavier Howard's definitely gonna finish the season with the most interceptions.
It's crazy. They're talking about trading Xavier Howard. I don't think you do that anymore.
No,
Well, Xavier Howard wanted out for a little bit.
He did, and now I feel like Miami.
Which is fair.
I don't
Yes,
blame him.
disclaimer, I don't blame him. Now, it's like, damn, Miami's got something going right now. If Tua can continue to improve, I haven't been overly impressed with Tua, but you know what? He's winning football games. He's playing well enough to win football games. I think that's good. And I'm worried, though, because I said the same thing about Drew Lock. But neither here nor there.
Drew Lock's had a bunch of injury players, too.
Drew Lock has had some injuries this year. But he hasn't been great when he's played. But that's beside the point. We're not talking about Drew Lock. We're talking about Tua Tagovailoa.
70% completion.
So does Tua win? What's your score?
Oh, yes, I do have Miami winning, 26-17. I think the defense is just going to be way too much. And completion percentage is an overhyped stat. Because remember...
4 touchdowns.
What's that?
4 touchdowns.
Drew Lock has 4 touchdowns?
And then, what game? Was it 70% completion rate and 4 touchdowns?
Yeah. Every quarterback can have a good game. Geno Smith hasn't had a perfect passer rating in a game. Ooh.
Force cock live.
I don't know. Drew Lock's in an interesting spot, but we're not talking about him.
Right, we're not talking about Drew Lock. We're talking about Miami, and Miami's defense will cause issues for Mariota. I guarantee it, and Miami will get 10 wins this year, which is crazy that they're going to be a 10-win football team. They can finish 11-5. Holy shit.
Okay, Brendan, what do you think? Dolphins or Raiders?
Oh, I already said Dolphins.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Dolphins, 23-19.
All right. Next up, we got what's going to be one of the best games of the week.
Cool.
Titan against Titan. Jags, Chicago.
2 NFL alphas going at it. This is a battle of the unstoppable force meets the immovable object.
2 teams Nick Foles have been on in the last year.
Yes.
But he's injured. So
But he is hurt, and even if he wasn't hurt, he wouldn't be playing.
No.
That's not true.
Nick Foles has not been good. I think they were going to go back to Trubisky at some point during the year.
Yeah.
Never know.
I have a good hunch.
Yep.
Trubisky is better than Nick Foles.
Nick Foles is a great
But he is.
Nick Foles is a good backup. Trubisky is a low-level starter.
He is a below.
You just got to admit it.
Mr. Trubisky is like the bargain bin $1 movie starters.
Sometimes those $1 movies.
Sam Darnold.
You dig in there.
Trubisky,
You dig in there.
Dwayne Haskins.
Yeah, you dig in there. It's like Mr. Trubisky, and it's like, oh wait, Mr. Trubisky has a cup. Trubisky made the playoffs that one year.
It's a decent movie.
Hey, what? Yeah. You know what? We'll watch this movie once, and then you buy it, and
I'll
you're
put
like,
Ryan Fitzpatrick back.
yeah, right. And then when you get Mr. Trubisky, it's like watching the movie. You watch the movie, and you're like, wait, this is why I didn't like it to begin with, and why didn't I just rent it?
But anyways, I don't know.
It's cheaper to buy most of the time. Let's be honest.
It's not from Redbox. Redbox is cheap. Just get yourself a Redbox quarterback.
Anyway, Jags are beating Chicago.
Really?
Jets are sliding back into that number 1 overall pick, getting Trevor Lawrence.
I don't even think.
Gardner Minshew, Mitch Trubisky.
I don't even think the Jags even allow themselves to win this football game.
Think of that.
It's been Gardner Minshew versus Mitch Trubisky.
Oh my God, this is gonna be amazing.
Wait, Gardner's playing?
I think so.
What?
I thought he was.
Two alpha males going at it?
I don't know who to look. I like Mitch Trubisky more.
No, I love Gardner. I love Gardner Minshew, bro.
I think he started.
Yeah, he is.
Interesting.
I think Juice Robinson is going to have a great game against Chicago, surprisingly.
So, I know we didn't really talk about Pro Bowl voting, but I thought they did a pretty good job this year. I didn't see a lot of snubs. I think James Robinson should have been over Josh Jacobs, though.
I agree with that, and I also think the only other one would be
Tunyon over Evan Ingram. 100%.
Evan Ingram is so bad. He's not a good tight end. Also, Eric Kendricks should have been in the Pro Bowl.
Over who?
Over who else was one? I think it was like JPP. I think should have been over JPP. Who are the middle linebackers again?
I actually have pulled up.
Let's just run through but we'll take a break from our predictions. Let's see if there's any snubs.
Your let's go through it then. Fuck it. AFC. Your quarterbacks: Mahomes, Josh Allen, Sean Watson.
No issues.
No issues there. Running backs: Derrick Henry, Nick Chubb, Josh Jacobs. I think
Josh Jacobs out.
James Robinson over Josh Jacobs.
But Derrick Henry, Nick Chubb. Okay.
Yeah, fair enough.
Receivers: Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, Keenan Allen, AJ Brown.
Yeah, no issues.
No. Tight ends: Travis Kelce, Darren Waller. Waller.
No issues.
Fullback: Patrick Richard.
Yeah, no issues.
Tackles are Larry Tunsil, Eric Fisher, and Orlando Brown.
Okay.
Guards are Quentin Nelson, Joel Binto, David DeCastro.
Yeah.
Centers are
What does Garrett Bowles play?
Garrett Bowles is a tackle.
He was.
I think he was a snub. I don't like him at all, but I think
realistically though,
I actually saw a thing earlier talking about snubs, and they said him over Orlando Brown.
Yes, I was gonna say, but realistically though, as much as you don't like him, and because he got an extension, didn't he?
He got it. He got paid.
Garrett Bowles was a snub this year. Here's actually the thing that actually might get you excited. So what year is this for Garrett Bowles?
His third
year. Perfect. So a lot of research that I do with offensive linemen when I do draft analysis, realistically, a lot of NFL scouts say when it comes to offensive linemen, you don't really see the true progression and what they can really be until their third and fourth year in the league is when it really matters. So Garrett Bowles actually could be a good tackle now.
Just worried about next year when they start calling holding calls again.
Well...
So big thing of them that.
No, but the thing is now maybe he's adjusted. He changes the way he plays, and now he doesn't. He should have been a Pro Bowler this year. He's one of PFF's highest rated tackles. Okay, carry on.
Going on to defense. Defensive ends: Myles Garrett, Joey Bosa, Frank Clark.
Frank Clark should not have been in. Frank Clark is not that good.
Who do you put in place of him?
I don't know, but I don't think Frank Clark's even had that good of a year.
Defensive tackle: Chris Jones, Cameron Hayward, Calais Campbell.
Okay.
Outside linebackers: T.J. Watt, Bradley Chubb.
Let's go.
And Matt Judon.
I like those.
Interior linebackers: Darius Leonard and Terrain Edmonds.
Okay.
Quarterbacks: Xavier Howard, Tre'Davious White, Marlon Humphrey, Stephon Gilmore.
Stephon Gilmore should not have been replaced J.C. Jackson.
Strong safety: Tyrann Mathieu. Free safety: Justin Simmons. Long snapper: Morgan Cox.
Yeah, what did?
We're gonna skip
who was the punter?
Jake Bailey for the Patriots.
All right, and who's the kicker?
Justin Tucker.
That's where I think that they should have added the Colts guy.
Yeah.
Rodrigo Blankenship?
Yeah, he's my favorite.
Switch over to the NFC, rolling through them. Quarterbacks: Rodgers, Wilson, Kyler Murray.
Yep.
Running backs: Dalvin Cook, Alvin Kamara, Aaron Jones.
Literally no issue. That is a perfect line.
Wide receiver: Devonta Adams, DeAndre Hopkins, DK Metcalf, Justin Jefferson.
That's perfect.
Tight ends: T.J. Hawkinson, Evan Ingram. I think
Tunyon over Ingram. That's an easy one.
Fullback: Kyle Yusuf.
Yeah.
Tackles: David Bakhtiari and Trent Williams. Oh, and Taron Armstead.
Yeah.
Guards: Brandon Sheriff, Elton Jenkins,
I was surprised, but I'm not mad at it.
Who has been a top 20 rated offensive lineman this year.
Yes.
He started at center. He started at guard. He started at right tackle. He started left tackle.
No, he should have been a Pro Bowler.
He's one of the most versatile linemen in the NFL.
He should have been a Pro Bowler. He deserves that spot.
Yeah. And then Andrews Pete was the last guard Pro Bowler. Your centers is Jason Kelsey and Frank Ragnow of the Lions. I think Corey Lindsey should have made it. He did get hurt though, so that's fair.
Yeah.
If he would have kept playing though, he would.
Oh yeah,
Defensive end: Cam Jordan, Brandon Graham, Chase Young. Tackles are Aaron Donald, Fletcher Cott, Grady Jarrett.
Of course.
The linebackers: Khalil Mack, Zadarius Smith, JPP. Interior linebackers: Bobby Wagner and Fred Warner. Your corners are Jalen Ramsey, Jerry Alexander, Marshall Lattimore, and James Bradbury, all in great seasons. Mm-hmm. Your free safety is Quandary Diggs of the Seahawks. Your strong safety is Budda Baker of the Cardinals. And Jamal Adams.
Personally, don't think Jamal Adams should have been a Pro Bowler. Personally, a lot of
he has a lot of
he has 8.5 sacks.
Sacks, yeah.
Top 10 sacks.
I understand that, but he has been dealing with a lot of injuries this year. He's awful in coverage this year. Maybe that's just way too deep of analytics for me, but like that, I don't think he should have been a Pro Bowler. Right.
Punter is Jack Fox, the Lions.
I like it. I love it, Jack Fox.
Young Hoku.
I love it.
I do want to say, I think Mason Crosby also could make it because Mason Crosby is still perfect on the year.
Give it to Young Hoku.
Come on, it's a better story.
Give it to Young Hoku.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, I think this is probably one of the best Pro Bowl.
It's not a whole lot of snubs this year.
No, yeah.
They did a good job.
So
good job, fans.
Good job, guys.
You did it right.
The only thing I would really disagree with is Evan Ingram, James Robinson.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't have personally put Jamal Adams in, but that's also because I'm just an analytics guy, so that's just my personal thing. But you can look at it and be like, Jamal Adams has 8.5 sacks, which is impressive for a safety, and that's fine. And it's a popularity contest.
All right, let's throw it back to what we were doing pre-tape.
Yes, shifting gears back to...
Are we on to... No.
We're still on Bears-Jags. So
I said Jags winning. What do you guys say?
So... Want to hear something crazy?
Yeah.
I think Mr. Trubisky's going to play really well this game.
Bear down, let's go.
I think Mr. Trubisky actually has a good game. He's playing with a little bit of confidence.
Yes, sir.
I think they're running the ball effectively now,
yes, sir.
and I just think they're an overall better team than the Jags, and I think the Jags are kind of trying to lose at this point.
Yes, sir.
I think this is going to be a good running game. We're going to see a lot of James Robinson.
Yes, sir. I think so, too. I think it'll be a fun little football game, but I think the Bears are going to kind of steamroll them. 31-10 Chicago.
Yes, sir. 38-15.
Yeah. And the Bears obviously need the win a lot more than the Jags do.
17.
All right, all on the Chicago train except for you, Ben.
Yep.
Hey, Ben still has the Jags scoring roughly about the same points.
Fair, that's fair. Mr. Frisky, gonna have a great game. This is where he's gonna get paid right here.
Ben, here's a question for you.
Yeah.
Outside of individual games, when was the last time you picked an NFC North team to win their respective game? Other than the Packers.
That's fair.
I was like thinking that. Again, I don't blame you. I want my division rivals to lose too. But
the biggest question is when was the last time Ben picked the Patriots to win?
I mean, but that's fair. But that's also because he does not like the Patriots.
Sure. This next game here is going to be a battle of the defenses. Both of these quarterbacks are pretty old.
Yeah, well, I know who's playing better than the two.
Phil's playing a little better.
Try a lot better.
Both are men of Jesus.
Men of Jesus, yes.
Yes.
Again, one a little more than the other, but they're both men of Jesus.
One has a bit more kids than the other.
Right.
Yes.
One can, if the Colts ever got hurt on defense, it's fine. Philip Rivers has got it.
Yep.
He can just put his whole team on the field himself.
Another guy, not quite. I have the Colts winning this one, 34-27. It's going to be a fun game. I think that is going to be a step-back game for the Steelers because they have been getting so much shit. And
what was my final score for Clippers games?
Not this.
No, I know, but like I feel like
it was close. It was 98-90.
Oh, was I at that far?
You were like.
No, you were 110-104.
Oh,
dang.
Was it
kind of close.
What was it?
The final score was 116-109.
Oh, nice.
That's kind of close. Interesting.
I know I had the Lakers win by like 30 or so.
Yeah, I saw that one guy commented and he kind of called you and Brendan out.
Yeah.
I was like, I looked at his stuff. He doesn't seem like an intelligent. Oh, wait, nope, just kidding. I'm not calling out other podcasts on this podcast.
Yeah, we are. We're the better podcast.
I mean, we probably are, but The only
never lost.
The only podcaster guy I respect is the guy who does Football and Chill podcast. He's a cool dude.
He's a cool dude, but he got destroyed in the fantasy football league.
Wait, are we in the finals?
No, we're not.
Damn.
Fighting for third place because of fucking Ben Roethlisberger, who we're talking about right now, only put up 7 points. He needed to put up 12. 12 points. That's
what? That's it? They couldn't do that? God, he's so bad.
I was like, I was going into it, I'm like, we got this. It's the Bengals. He's going to score twice, right?
Oh, Big Ben is so bad.
Piss me off.
Well,
Plus passing.
yeah.
He would have needed 100 yards passing.
I'm guessing if you have 2 touchdowns.
And 100 yards passing. I don't know, man.
But, yeah, the Colts winning this one.
I also the Colts won this one. I have kind of a weird score because I think it's going to be a lot of defensive points. 24-15 Colts.
I also have the Colts winning because, that's just the hype train. I have Indianapolis actually kind of going off, 33-18.
Nice.
Colts, or who is playing better, the Colts or the Steelers?
Colts.
Who is the better... Actually, yes, I will ask this question because one's healthier. Who is playing better on defense?
Colts.
Who is playing better at quarterback?
Colts.
Who's playing better offensively in general?
Colts.
Who is the better football team right now? Colts win 28-13.
Which is more likely to win their division?
Colts. At this point, the Colts.
Love to say that.
Here's some. This game doesn't. I don't think it's going to be my favorite game.
Ooh, I haven't started in like 10 years, so I'm gonna start. All right, we have.
All right, that's enough.
Ravens.
All right, Brady, have your moment.
A team that could win their division, the Giants and the Ravens, are going to not let that happen. 27-16 Baltimore.
I also have the Ravens win the game. I think the Giants defense is going to clamp down a little bit on the Ravens.
Interesting.
I have 16-9 Ravens.
The Giants, for as much crap as we give them, their defense, pretty good.
It's just well coached.
Pretty underrated.
And James Bradbury.
Yeah, but they're also one of the best run defenses in the NFL. And the Ravens love to run the football. And with that defense, I think they're going to force Lamar Jackson to not have a very good game. But I think that Baltimore defensively will make... Yeah. I do think that Lamar Jackson will make enough plays with his legs. I think that the defense will play well enough, because they're a solid defense. And I just don't trust Colt McCoy to win football. Who's playing, Daniel Jones or Colt McCoy?
Is Danny Dimes coming there?
Danny Dimes, but believe so.
Okay, that might change it a little bit. But I have 23-17 Baltimore. And the Giants are going to be, both teams need this victory, and they're both going to be just button heads all game.
Yep, Daniel Jones.
But Baltimore gets the win.
Okay.
All right, so I also have Baltimore getting the dub here. I don't think the Giants' defense are going to do that much. I think the Giants kind of falling out of that NFC East picture. And so I got Baltimore 30-16. Lamar Jackson's going to have a good passing game, which is unusual. But it's going to happen this week because I need it to.
All right.
It's funny. We were talking about how the Giants are, running out of contention for the NFC East. You know who is currently at the top of the NFC?
Oh.
The Washington football team, which is our next game. Panthers have the football team.
I think this is actually going to be a closer game than Giants Ravens.
I think we all think this is going to be a close game.
I think it's going to be a low-key good game.
Mm-hmm.
I have the football team winning on a last-second field goal, 23-20.
I have 24-21 Washington.
I have 21-20 Washington.
I have 29-26 Washington.
It's going to be a sneaky game of the week, everybody.
Yeah. Real barn burner.
Speaking of barn burners, NFC Classic Showdown right here, boys.
Battle for what could be first place if things go their way. It could be battle for first place in the NFC. If things go the opposite way, like if Washington loses and the Giants lose, which could happen. I mean, this could be for first place in the NFC East.
Or it could be for third.
Or hell, it could be for last.
Yeah, that's true too.
It could literally either be
going to get the best draft pick.
Seriously, this is literally either a game for first place or last place. That's the best scenario and the worst case scenario.
Well, to be fair, if you're not first, you're last.
I mean, in this division,
Throwback.
everyone's last.
So I think both with backup quarterbacks, Jen Hurts and Andy Dalton, I think Jen Hurts is going to outplay Andy Dalton. I think he's going to be able to run over the Cowboys defense. Will be a high-scoring game, though. I think Andy Dalton will get some fantasy points, and so will Amari Cooper. 31-28 Eagles.
I think Philly has a little bit more of a, not a little bit, they have a lot more of a spark with Jalen Hurts in there. And I think they're going to carry that over into this game. I think it's going to be a really good game. I have 31-27 Philadelphia. And Carson Wentz will continue to be sad boy.
I have 38-32 Jalen Hurts going off.
Putting the hurt on.
He's putting the hurt on Dallas.
Putting the hurt on Dallas.
It's going to be a good one. Tune in, everybody.
And fun fact of note, Jalen Hurts is undefeated in the AT&T Stadium. He has played very well in the AT&T because he has played a semifinal there.
Let's go.
He has played in a Big 12 championship.
Let's go.
Really well.
And he's going to win this Sunday.
And he's going to win the Sunday as well.
Let's go.
Really well.
Or Saturday, one of the two. I don't know. Weird NFL week. I didn't put it what the times are. But
I also have the Eagles winning 34-17. I think Jalen Hurts is just giving the Eagles that spirit back, like of a leader, just giving them, imbuing them with confidence and all that jazz. So they'll just steamroll over the Cowboys defense, which is not that great.
Fair enough. We got a second divisional matchup here. This one's a little bit more important.
yeah,
This one has a little bit more implications than the previous one.
Like, literally, the division is on the line.
Rams at Seahawks. I want the Rams to win this game.
Me too.
And I'm one of the two people who predicted that they win this game. I have the Rams winning another high-scoring game. Jared Goff and Russell Wilson are going to duel it out. The Rams are going to win 37-35 because the Seahawks defense is not very good.
I have no faith in Jared Goff. The Seahawks defense has been playing significantly better since getting it's like pretty significant how better they've been since getting Carlos Dunlap. And it looks like Dunlap will play. Jamal Adams has been a full participant in practice, so they'll still have their key defensive guys. And because of that, I don't think they're going to run the ball effectively because Cam Akers won't play because he has been a difference maker for the Rams. He won't play. And if you have to force the game on Jared Goff, you will lose. If you have to force Jared Goff to make plays, you will lose. Russell Wilson hasn't been that great. I think it's actually going to be... What am I doing? I'm stupid. Give me 1 second. No, 1 second.
Are we lowering the Rams?
Oh, hell yeah. It's going to be a defensive bout. 24-20 Seattle, and they will clinch the NFC West. I am in sad boy hours.
Fair enough.
I also have the Seattle Seahawks taking the dub here. Not as close. I don't think defense is going to matter in this game. I think that Russell Wilson is the better quarterback. You hear me say it every week. And the better quarterback's going to win. Russell Wilson has better weapons.
That do be a good game.
Yes. And plus, the Seahawks they're going into the new year, guys. Russ is going to cook.
Russ is going to cook.
48-20. 42-20.
I think Rams win this one. I think Rams beat them forward. I think they'll do it again. 31-24.
Fair enough.
It is in Lumen Field.
Y'all are too nice.
I'm not going to be nice to what seems to be everybody else's favorite team now of the year.
Love it, boys.
I'm going to go first twice this episode. Just because I'm sticking with my hype on the Titans. I don't care that the game with the Lions was a lot closer than we'd all like to admit. I think the Titans
I love to admit
are going to do what the Titans do best. They're going to defeat the big bad teams.
Smart.
So I think the Titans are going to win 31-21. Derrick Henry, 300-yard game. Derrick Henry is going to get to 2,000 rushing yards this season.
I kind of hope he does. I do hope he does.
So this is going to be in Lambeau Field.
It is. Nobody cares.
Wow. That's aggressive. Anyway.
Titans are winning.
Lambeau Field.
Y'all are wrong. Even if they lose, they didn't lose.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be snowing.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers is going to be able to out-throw Derrick Henry running.
That's fair.
I think the Packers defense will step up enough and create a turnover or two off Ryan Tannehill. And even though this is going to be a very high-scoring game, the Packers winning 39-30, and Aaron Rodgers adds 4 more touchdowns to his 2020 campaign.
So here's the formula for the game. We talked about it. The Titans have no one to rush the quarterback at all. That's going to play a factor. But one thing that's going to help the Titans out is that they can run the ball well against Green Bay, who has a terrible run defense. I think they're going to try and follow the same formula the Colts did. They're going to try and keep the ball away from Rodgers, limit as much pressure as you can off of Ryan Tannehill. I think Derrick Henry will have a solid game, so I think it's going to be a close game. But I think not getting pressure on Aaron Rodgers is going to be a factor, especially against a Tennessee defense, pass defense that has not been good because of it. Now, I think it's going to pretty much solidify Rodgers as the MVP because I think he's going to have to play really well to win this football game. I think that they're going to be able to take the run game out of Green Bay, so this will be not only a win for Green Bay, but I think this will be the solidifier that puts Aaron Rodgers as the MVP. 27-20 Green Bay Packers.
If Aaron Rodgers can get 7 touchdowns over the next 2 weeks against Tennessee and Chicago, he will hit 50 total touchdowns.
That's incredible. How old is he?
36.
That's incredible.
Nice. I also think that Aaron Rodgers is going to have a heyday. It's going to be a great game. Packers going to win. Aaron Rodgers Tuesday next week is going to be fun. Packers going to ride the number 1 seed in the playoffs.
How old was Peyton Manning when that 1 year with Denver when they went to the Super Bowl when he threw like a shit ton when he broke the passing record?
38.
He's 38.
I think.
I don't think he only had 4 interceptions. I think he only had 4 interceptions.
He probably did.
Probably. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is probably.
So wait, Aaron Rodgers has 4 interceptions in the year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ryan Tannehill only has 1 more than him.
I mean, they also don't pass the ball as much.
Aaron Rodgers is the better quarterback by far. Moving on to our last game here. Speaking of quarterbacks, it's a battle between Josh Allen and Cameron Newton.
So a quarterback that can run the ball well and can pass against a quarterback that can't pass and can run the ball well.
Yeah.
So it's a quarterback that can run against a run.
So basically what you're saying is it's a battle between one good quarterback and one bad quarterback.
Basically.
Like it's one good team and one team that just is missing half their team since COVID.
Damian Harris going to be back for this game?
Probably not. I'm predicting there's going to be a lot of players getting the Foxborough flu.
Okay.
The Foxborough flu meaning they're going to just sit. They're just going to take the loss. I think J.C. Jackson needs to be one of them.
What's the score?
I wasn't going to go first, but 24-13.
What did you say?
24-13.
I was very similar score. I have 25-12. The Patriots kicker is going to kick 4 field goals.
Giving the Patriots a little more credit.
Well, if Nick Folk were to attempt 4 field goals, he might make 2.
No, he's going to attempt 6. But he's going to make all of them in the red zone.
No, he probably missed the ones in the red zone and then bomb or hit it like a 40-yarder. Something ridiculous.
All right, so
ridiculous for Nick Folk's standard.
Patriots are going to have a little dignity in the game. I mean, come on.
Probably not.
Bills are going to win 32-20. Josh Allen's going to play pretty well. The defense is going to make its case. Bills are just revving up for their playoff run. And I think this is just going to be another, fun practice game.
The Week 17 matchup is probably not going to be the most interesting. It's obviously the most interesting one is going to be Baltimore, Cleveland. Or, sorry, Pittsburgh, Cleveland. But another one that's going to be very interesting is Dolphins, Bills.
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to be a fun game. Mm-hmm. Can't wait.
I wish that would have been for the AFC East title, but good for Buffalo.
Yeah.
Good for Buffalo.
What do you guys got for your scores?
Oh, I think it's just me. 34-20 Buffalo. Superior. Playing well offensively. Superior over New England. They can't move the football. So, yeah. Awesome. Buffalo continues the Mafia hype train.
Duncan and Noah had very similar scores, and Ben and I had very similar scores.
Which score will end up being more similar? when the game is played.
Well, it just was funny because we both had 2-point differences.
Interesting.
Because Ben went down a point and up a point, and I went from me. And then Noah just went 2 points up on the bill.
Yes. Well, Merry Christmas. Celebrate.
Merry Christmas.
Festus, holiday. Whatever holiday you celebrate.
Hope you had a good Hanukkah.
Yeah.
I hope you're excited for Kwanzaa, which is starting the 26th.
Yep.
Ujima. Gonna just put that out. I know I'm 2 days early, but Ujima, all of you.
Happy Ujima.
We'll talk to you on the last day of the next year.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Still hoping 2021.
2021's coming, guys.
Yeah.
It's coming. That's all I'm going to say about it.
So, when you're trying to get away from your family this week, or you need a break, just pop in the SighSquadPod.
Yeah, just escape.
Just escape.
We were founded off of just being some guys sitting in the room talking, hanging out.
Yeah.
So if you just want to come hang out with us, just make some hot cocoa.
Snuggle up by the fire.
Noah is always willing to share food.
Put his earbud
like he's sliding me an Oreo right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Put an earbud in their ear.
Yeah.
Cozy up your blanket. And close your eyes to force cock lock.
Just
Force cock lock. All up in your face.
And that is how we'll end the show.
We'll see you next week. I'm Duncan.
I am Noah.
Ben, I've never been more proud of you in my life.